SacktownSports.com and the Sacktown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sacktown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper.
Well, no Kyle Draper today. He's in maybe Bali by now. Jay has today off. Jay should be back tomorrow. So it is my pleasure to welcome back to the studio. This has been his studio many times over the last couple of years. We used to do a little show together. I don't know if you remember that. Christopher Laud. Chris Watkins. Watkins today. Watkins and Whitey. How are you?
Good. I got to figure out how to get on everyone else's vacation plan. Dave, Jay, Drapes, man.
I can't. I was on vacation last week.
It's crazy how much vacation everybody's getting but us. But glad to be here. I'll take the opportunity. They fumble the ball. I'll gladly pick it up and run with it. And anytime they ask me to come on air, especially with my friend Whitey Gleason, I can't say no. And I tried. I will let you know when they asked. When they, I tried to say no. I left the door open. They asked me to come in and cover for Drapes today, and I said, the only way I'll do it is if it's a true reunion and we can get Christopher Laud to work overtime. I know he would love it. Unfortunately, Christopher Laud. Nowhere to be seen. After the morning show.
I know that what you say is true because I also heard that there were efforts afoot to try to get him in here.
It's all right. Yeah. Sorry. Some of us like to work. I guess Christopher Laud, just one of those guys who's S-O-F-T soft. Could have worked 8 hours today, but
So Ramsey will keep us on track. Hopefully, fingers crossed on that. What are you making of everything going on with the Kings, sir? By the way, I got to tell you a couple things. Jerry Reynolds on with us today.
Yes, can't wait.
And I mentioned to Jerry when I texted him, hey, Chris Watkins going to do the show with me. You want to come on? And he was like, yes. Yeah. He's a big Watkins fan.
Yeah, we text daily.
Yeah, I wouldn't surprise me. Last night I was talking to the missus. I got home and I said, Jay's out tomorrow. She said, who are you going to be working with? I said, do you know a guy named Chris Watkins? And she's like, she was so happy. I know you met her, but she was so happy.
Good, yes. No, I'm happy. I'm happy to kind of run this back. And again, anytime we can chop it up for 4 hours, I'll gladly say yes. So glad to be here. And I don't know if I'm glad to talk Kings or Niners, but we'll do it nonetheless.
Yeah, Chris, as we're talking here, what I realized at some point today, we have to do our bold Kings.
It's still summer. It's still summer. We have time to do it. We honestly might have to do a couple to make up for missed time. We can get a couple of those knocked down at some point for sure. Because I've got some brewing I think I can let a couple sit.
Okay, a couple years ago, when Chris and I were doing the show, we had that great Beam Team year. Yeah. We started doing the show then, and I wasn't sure how long it was going to be around. And it's like, keep it going. Get into the summer. We did the Beamies, remember?
Beamies, remember, please. I mean, come on. I still have the confetti.
So we were, as the summer drew longer, as it went on, we were trying to think of ways that we could continue to talk about the Kings. And at one point, probably like the middle of August or something, maybe late July, we started our Kings Bowl predictions. We figured, we'll do that for a week. And we just kept them going all the way through to media day. I don't know what our success rate was. It wasn't high.
It would be under 20% for sure. I mean, we got pretty. Well, I say we. I will generously say we. Some of us here, myself mainly, got pretty squirrely with some of the predictions towards the end, and. I would say that probably dropped our percentage a little bit, but I think I would like to think that we got some of them right.
I'm sure we did.
Yeah, you swing enough times, you're going to hit a couple.
Yeah, it might be good that Verlotte's not here today because I think he actually kept track of those.
He did.
He still has it somewhere. Oh, did he?
Yes, he sent it to me a while ago, and. Again, there's some doozies on there for sure, but I think we'd be happily surprised with some of the predictions that we at least got close. But it's mainly not our fault, as we know things went a little bit off the rails that season, and really none of us could have predicted what went wrong.
If Monty would have got a hold of our list and looked at it and said, "Oh yeah, I got to do these things," everything would be great.
Absolutely. I mean, that's just a bona fide fact, and it's a shame that he didn't, because who knows how different De'Aaron Fox could still be here, Monty McNair could still be here.
At least
one championship. I mean, I think we can really butterfly effect this thing all the way back to the Whitey and Watkins Summer Bowl predictions.
Absolutely. May I mention my favorite Chris Watkins Bowl prediction? And you know what it is.
Sure.
Okay. My favorite one.
I think I know which one.
Yeah. It was just so funny. And I remember when you delivered it, you were just so sure.
Yeah.
It was that Harrison Barnes
Yes.
and Sasha Vezenkov are going to become BFFs.
Yeah, no, I do remember that. And, it mainly, and you're forgetting the cherry on top was that it was going to come with a nickname. Really, I think that's the genesis of it all.
I don't even remember
it was that his nickname was going to become the ambassador.
Oh, okay.
Because,
yeah.
Because he was just going to be such a great ambassador to Sasha coming over here, no family, nothing.
That's right.
Harrison Barnes, as we know, very polished and wears a suit to the game kind of guy. And I don't know. I just thought he would make Sasha feel welcomed. And I'm not blaming Harrison, but I don't think Sasha felt welcomed at all here. And that
did not work out.
I will say it is really funny here as Brendan Nunez just sent me some football breaking news. If you're
oh yes. Do we need the sounder?
I think so.
Okay.
I think this qualifies.
Mm-hmm.
When it breaks,
We have it first.
it's Sacktown Sports breaking news.
Many said it wouldn't happen. I didn't believe it would. The Cowboys are trading All-Pro Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers.
Wow.
Very unfortunate. They also agree on a 4-year, $188 million deal. At $47 million per year, Parsons is the highest paid non-quarterback in history. Nets Dallas 2 first-rounders. That is from Ian Rappaport of NFL Network.
That escalated quickly, didn't it?
That incredibly quickly. I mean, I didn't think it was going to happen. I especially, I don't know how much of the Netflix Cowboys documentary you've caught, but I've seen a couple episodes, and it just kind of felt like Jerry Jones was up to his old ways, trying to get in the news as this is the most dead period of just the sports
Milking
calendar.
it for all it's worth.
Absolutely. And it turns out it was all real, all very, very real. And it's really painful for me to say that he's going to the Packers as well. As you know, I'm a big Minnesota Vikings fan.
Yes.
Micah Parsons is every ounce of that dude. And it's I mean, if you're the Packers 2 first-round picks, that I think that's what the Raiders ended up getting for Khalil Mack back in the day. So, that is kind of the going rate for these elite young pass rushers. But
that's incredible because if you trade a quarterback, you might get a 3rd rounder.
No.
Yeah, an elite pass rusher.
Yeah.
2 firsts.
2 first, unquestionably.
And Chris, I concur as well. I'm a fan of a team in the same division, but it's not the Vikings. I'm a Bears fan, so I definitely don't like to see the rival green and gold to get someone of this ilk. And my question is, how, as a team, the way that they're owned as a fan entity, find a way to have money like this to pay a man of that nature? I mean, if they made the deal, good for them, but not happy about it whatsoever.
The crazy thing is, I just read yesterday morning on Pro Football Talk, Mike Florio, and there was a story yesterday. I think it was yesterday morning, and it was, some teams have actually called the Cowboys. Nothing's expected to happen, and they're not close to anything. But the Packers are a team that has expressed interest. Now we look at things every day. What do we mention on the show? And the way it was written, I thought that's not even worth a mention.
Yeah. Turns out,
boom!
Turns out it was everything. And I mean, again, it just didn't seem like this was going to happen. I don't know how much sense it makes for the Cowboys. Maybe it really was. I know there was a lot of behind the scenes talk of, Jerry tried to go behind Micah's agent's back and do negotiations from player to owner or GM or whatever you want to call Jerry. And that's frowned upon, or it might even straight up not be in the rules of the CBA. But for it to escalate to this at this point in the season too. I mean, we're a week away from the season. For all of this to happen, it's just it's insane. And I don't know, sure, you get the 1st-round picks, but Micah Parsons is one of those guys where I don't know if you can necessarily put a value on a pass rusher these days. Like 2 1st-round picks is very nice, but you're not going to get a guy the caliber of Micah Parsons with those picks.
Right. I know that Micah Parsons' brother had just come out and said, this is going to get really ugly. So he said it's going to go 12 rounds. I would guess the Cowboys just got the message and decided he really does not want to come here.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the pictures of him laying on the medical table in that preseason game. I know that made a big media stir. I don't know how much that was in person, but I could see this being a measure of, again, like maybe Jerry thinks in his head, like, I've been here, done this. Again, we're just here for media attention. Holdouts, no big deal. I think I saw in the documentary, Emmitt Smith had a similar holdout that went into the season.
Yeah, he missed 2 games.
Absolutely.
I think they lost them both, then they won the Super Bowl anyway.
Absolutely. And I think he still had the rushing title that year as well. So maybe in Jerry's mind, he's thinking, this is just another one of those situations. I've been in the fire. This is nothing to us. This will all just be good media attention. what is it? Bad attention is still or
Right.
any attention is good attention.
Yeah.
For it to end in a trade, I think is just, I just can't see how this is good for the Cowboys. Like I know again, they love the attention of it all, but there's just no way, especially with their defense being a big question mark, that this is a good move for their future.
And they play a week from tonight, right? They open the season.
Yep, yeah, they open
against
the season.
the Eagles. Now the Eagles opener is even easier for them. They were probably going to win anyway.
Right, yeah, good thing Kyle Draper's not here to hear that.
Mm-hmm,
He there's nothing more that he needs for that Eagles team to feel good, and it's a really tough division. So maybe I can't imagine part of it is the Cowboys just feeling like, hey, you know, the Commanders are on the up right now. The Eagles coming off a Super Bowl. Maybe now isn't the time to strike, but I don't know. It just with the amount of investment they put into the offense, you know, they're going to be fun, but I think are fun to watch on the offensive end. But as a team, especially in that division, it just feels like there's no way they can compete now.
It just seems that Jerry Jones, when he makes his moves financially, if they're financially motivated, he's very calculating. He thinks outside the box, and he's been enormously successful. When it comes to the roster, it just seems like it's more knee-jerk emotional things, doesn't it? Rather than planned out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously, 2 first-round picks. Wow, that's a nice haul. But for Micah Parsons, and to see this whole thing disintegrate the way it did, where they, according to reports, as everyone knows who's following this, they had apparently the framework of an agreement, and Jerry Jones wouldn't go to Micah Parsons' agent.
Yeah.
That's how it's done.
Yeah. And
you can't cut out a guy's agent. You can't do that.
Yeah. And again, I wonder how much of this is just a Jerry Jones not understanding that this is just not how business is conducted. Maybe again, things back in the early 90s were done. Business was done differently, but I think even the rep boost or the lack thereof to lose Micah Parsons, to lose this negotiation with Micah Parsons, like, I don't think that's a good look for the Cowboys brand. Like, I think that the fact
definitely.
that, the fact you can't just say, hey, the star is the biggest thing. You can go to any other team and you can be a great pass rusher. No one's having weekly TJ Watt conversations. You play for the star. That's a big deal. It just, to me, reeks of things are not the way that they used to be. And I think Jerry obviously is, as he's getting long in the tooth, like, I just don't know if he's equipped to be the GM, like you said. I mean, it feels like he makes the emotional decisions, but maybe as a businessman, he is still
got a movement over there
towards the top of his game. But he's really, really gotta figure out if this is how he wants to end his tenure, because Jerry's trying to win a Super Bowl in these next couple of years before he's not running the team anymore.
I don't mean to be disrespectful or offend any Raider fans. Maybe I am. I don't mean to be. But he's getting to a point where he's starting to remind me a little bit of late model Al Davis.
100%. Yeah. Where it just feels like you lose touch for the game, and that's no disrespect to anything you ever did and anything you've accomplished. And it's not a discredit to your mind at all, but it's just, things are moving quickly, especially in the NFL with how big of a business the NFL is nowadays. And Jerry obviously has played a huge factor in making it bigger.
Which is probably the answer to Ramsey's question. Absolutely. How could they afford to do it? Oh my goodness.
I mean,
tons and tons of money raining down on every NFL team.
Unheard of amount of money in the NFL right now. And it absolutely is king. And, I think that, again, maybe it's just a sign that Jerry can't do business in today's NFL with how things are done, and maybe that old business practices just won't cut it.
This is pretty clearly a Jerry Jones botch job.
I think so.
They're of that caliber that you had an agreement with that you could have reasonably figured out how to sign, and now you got to send him out because he'd had enough. That's a big L.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
For the star.
It's not just a regular pass rusher either. It's not just like we're talking about a Trey Hendrickson or something like that. We are talking about Micah Parsons, who is maybe, I mean, especially in a post Aaron Donald NFL, like the best defender in the NFL individually, or at least definitely up there with it. And I think for them to lose that is just a massive blow to that team, and something that is a little bit Luka Doncic like, where again those fan bases.
I forgot about the Dallas thing.
Yeah, I mean, that fan base felt like that guy was going to be there for a really, really long time. This is going to be our guy, and to lose him, on a random Thursday in the middle of the day, a week before the season, it's just there's no way that's feeling good.
I think a lot of people that have followed the Cowboys very closely for a long time also have to be surprised. From what I've been reading, there's a lot of people like that who've been saying, this is what Jerry does. He stretches it out, draws it out. Then the last minute, he'll pour a bunch of money out. And then everything will be fine. Yeah. But no, looks like, and that's why I say the only thing that makes sense to me is that weeks ago, it got to a point where Micah Parsons had said, I don't want to go back. Guys always say that. Mm-hmm. They scrub their accounts of any reference to the team. And it's quite often just a negotiating ploy. And then they signed, and that's like, okay, we're good. But I think when he did all that, looks like maybe he was dug in already. It's like, I don't want to be a Cowboy.
Do you read any of this into maybe like I guess you can call it like a player empowerment push in the NFL, where again, typically in the NFL, it's, hey, buddy, you can want all you want, but again, the team logo is much bigger than you as the individual. You can want to trade all you want, doesn't mean we're going to move you.
It probably is on in Jerry's mind, right?
Right.
Because he's been saying publicly, repeatedly, that he's under contract.
Yeah.
He's under contract. And we look at what's going on with Jawan Jennings right now.
Yeah.
Players in the last year of their contract for the NFL, they feel like, I'm under contract, but I'd just as soon take a hit financially now and end up with more money down the road. So maybe Jerry was taking a stand in that regard. I'm sure it's one thing that's good about him. Whatever he was thinking, he's probably going to tell us. Right or wrong.
Right? Yeah, he'll be on the radio tomorrow morning, I'm sure,
right.
waxing poetic about what he just traded for, right? I'm sure he'll compare it to the Herschel Walker trade, right? He'll say, people didn't like that when that happened. And, look what happened. We were able to build a dynasty off it. And I'm sure he's gonna reckon back to it. And I'm sure there's maybe a little bit of credence to it. But again, I just think in normal situations, you can say, hey, 2 first-round picks as a value, we can get 2 players with that selection that can equal a Micah Parsons. I just don't know if that's going to be the case. A guy who's as versatile as he is can rush the way he does while also playing dropping into coverage and things like that. I feel like he's a one-of-a-kind guy that you just don't let walk out your door. And for them to send him to the Packers as well inside the conference. I know obviously not inside of division, but the Packers are another big name franchise.
That's what I was going to say. Do we have to think about them in the NFC now? I mean, already they were, a team to keep an eye on.
Yeah, no. And I think he's definitely somebody who can be a difference maker. Right. And it's not like we're talking about a quarterback or a wide receiver being traded over there too. Right. It's not somebody who necessarily has to learn routes. Sure. There's concepts and stunts and things you have to learn, but for all intents and purposes, Micah Parsons can go out there week 1 and get 2-3 sacks and make an impact from day one. So it's definitely something that is scary as somebody who isn't rooting for the Packers. I think their defense isn't really something that you're going to talk about with that team. And obviously Jordan Love is still a little bit of a question mark just as how good exactly are you in this league? But this definitely helps for sure. Getting an elite pass rusher is something that Packers team didn't have. And to add that, I think is definitely a weapon and something again in a playoff game like that trade can win you a playoff game.
Yeah, it's Watkins and Whitey today. Chris Watkins, nice enough to fill in for us with we got people on vacation today. One of the things I jotted down here for what it's worth, Chris, I figured we'd get to it later, but I was going to ask, can there be, before I knew about the trade, can there be any winners in the Jerry Jones, Micah Parsons contract saga? And because the way I was looking at it, I thought there probably aren't going to be. But right now, the Green Bay Packers are certainly winners.
It feels like it, yeah. I mean,
Micah Parsons is probably a winner.
It feels like everybody won except for the Cowboys, right?
Yeah,
I mean, I'm looking at it now. The official trade is defensive tackle Kenny Clark and 2 first-round picks. That's it. I'm not super familiar with Kenny Clark. I'm sure he's a serviceable D tackle, someone who they can fit in a rotation, but he's again, like it just doesn't feel like
an elite defender.
Yeah, now he's going to be Aaron Donald 2.0. We're going to hear about him tomorrow. It's just it's incredibly risky. It doesn't feel like the Cowboys won this. It feels like everybody else did. Micah Parsons, again, though he's not on the Cowboys, still goes to a very well-respected big name franchise in the Packers, as much as I hate to admit it. Goes to a good team too. It's not as if he gets shipped off to the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers necessarily aren't a bad team, but he's not going to Jacksonville or a team that's not going to compete. Micah Parsons can make a name for himself in Green Bay. And have it for the rest of his career. Like, I think it's a really, really big win for Micah. He gets his contract as well. There's no losses on that side. And like you mentioned, the Packers, they get their star and
elite,
you know, it very much
Look how much better
like
they get just like that.
2
just
first-round
like
picks for them. What is that, in the 20s, in the mid-teens? That's nothing for them. Yeah.
What do you?
I was going to say this trade reminds me of what happened in 2018 with Khalil Mack when the Raiders moved him to the Bears, because it was basically under a similar situation where the Raiders were trying to negotiate, couldn't sign him. Moved on with that, and this looks very similar in the same breath, because as Kyle Ledbetter and I were talking about in the back here real quick, both were 3-time All-Pros traded within their first 4 years because unfortunately they couldn't come to an agreement on that second contract with their original franchise.
From Spencer Lampkins here in the YouTube chat, Cowboys getting worse is awesome, but Packers getting better is terrible. And I know you're not a big Niner guy, but you share that sentiment, I'm sure.
Very, very much agree. Yeah. Anytime the Packers are getting better, and they've got a good coach, they've got good weapons. They don't really have great receivers, but I think there's a world where, and the Niners saw it a couple of years ago in the playoffs, right? Like the Packers can be a very competitive team, and they're definitely building towards something. It's just a matter of how that ceiling is, right? I think that's obviously the question with so many NFL teams, but they have capability with that coach, and we'll see how good Jordan Love is, but that can be a team that's going to be competitive in the NFC for a while.
Yeah. So the big news, Micah Parsons has been traded from the Cowboys to the Green Bay Packers. Quickly, Chris, I wanted to see what you think here of what's going on with the 49ers and Juwan Jennings. Similar, but on a much, much, much smaller scale, of course. Yesterday, it happened during our show. We talked about some of the things John Lynch said, where he tried to just brush off the whole trade request. He said, that was a while ago, but that was a long time ago, and we've moved on from that. I don't know if Juwan Jennings has moved on from that, but the 49ers are saying, we've moved on from that. And then when John Lynch was asked about, is he not playing because his calf hurts or because he's unhappy with his contract, both things can be true. He has a calf injury and he wants a new contract. People want to assume one or the other. Both things can be true. If both things are true, then it is true that he's not playing because of his contract, and that's bad.
Yeah, that's not great, especially, again, to start the season. And you look at the 49ers receiver room right now, and it's thin. You go on ESPN and you look at the depth chart. It's a lot of red. It's a lot of IRs. It's a lot of outs. It's a lot of, and then guys you'd never really heard of. And so I think Juwan's definitely got a case here. I mean, Juwan has been as rock steady as it gets for this team through all the years of turmoil. I guess you could call these successful years turmoil if you wanted to. He's just been a rock solid receiver for them this entire time. And
he was great last year.
There's a chance this year he's going to have a really big role. Obviously, we don't know how long Ayuk is going to be out. Ricky Pearsall, we'll see how good that connection is going to be in the regular season.
Valdez-Scantling, they put on the practice squad today, and they re-signed Gage.
Really? I didn't see that yet. Yeah. I know they had interest in Kendrick Bourne as well, who just got cut from the Patriots. They had interest in him back in the Ayuk trade saga.
Yep.
He was a big holdup in that deal.
To your point, I think they have 3 healthy wide receivers right now.
That's incredible. I mean, that's incredible for all the wrong reasons. And I think Juwan Jennings definitely has a leg to stand on in these negotiations, especially considering maybe one of those legs is injured. He's thinking going into this season, like, I need some security moving forward. And if I'm going to play injured for you guys, when you guys need me, like capital N need me, I'm going to need to see some money too, because, again, he's just been so solid for that team. And, I think he got a pay raise going into last season, but he definitely has
standpoint,
outplayed his value.
We just extended you.
And I get it. And they've been very, especially with giving out money, we know through all the contract extensions, they like to wait until the last minute. And we're talking about guys with Trent Williams and Bosa. So who knows how immediate they're going to feel the urgency to sign a guy like Juwan Jennings. But again, you look at that depth chart, you look at the health of their receiving room right now, you might want to be a little bit urgent, because I just don't know where else the targets are going to go. If not to Kittle, if not to Pearsall, it's got to go to Juwan Jennings.
New slot receiver, Christian McCaffrey.
Hey, and we'll see how long he's able to hold up. I know, my extended family, Jordan Watkins, out there too. A lot of hype around him. We'll see. That's really the room right now, it feels like. And again, Juwan Jennings has been there, done that. He's comfortable with the system. I think it feels like Brock uses him as a security blanket. makes all the sense of the world for Juwan right now to push for what he can.
Mm-hmm. So we're just getting started already. Big things have happened. Chris Watkins in today. When we come back, we'll turn our attention to those Sacramento Kings and more details on the Micah Parsons trade to the Packers. Watkins and Whitey today. Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
The Alan Styles Show.
Somebody was talking about the Raiders and how good Derek Carr looked and how they wanted to do the sit him for a year thing, but it's just really hard when you got a Lamborghini in the garage and you want to test it out and drive the Lamborghini around it. Who is the Lamborghini in the garage right now for the Kings? Is it Keon? Keegan can't be the Lamborghini. Keegan's playing.
You can listen to the Alan Styles Show Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on 1140 a.m., YouTube, and the Sacktown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It's Thursday. It's bright. It's sunny outside. We've got a warm day on the horizon. Temperatures will peak today in the low to mid 90s, so a touch warmer than yesterday. Plan for overnight lows with a bit of a delta breeze dropping off into the upper 50s to low 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Elk Grove Honda is proud of Honda's lineup of trucks and SUVs offering compatibility and versatility to the core. See the exciting new models at Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
This Labor Day at Lowe's, shop member-only doorbuster deals for a limited time. Save $50 on an Ego string trimmer, now $169. Plus, get 50% off select Holland pavers. Not a rewards member? Sign up for free today. But hurry, Labor Day doorbuster deals won't last long. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 9/1 while supplies last. Program subject to terms and conditions. Details at Lowe's.com/terms. Subject to change.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
High Voltage live boxing action returns to the venue on September 6th as Uppercut Promotions presents 6 big fights featuring undefeated fighters. Thunder Showdown September 6th at the venue at Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Tickets at Ticketmaster. Fight cards subject to change.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. Chad, what's going on for the Make This the summer sales event?
Now is the time to enjoy all California has to offer. And what better way than a brand new 2025 Jeep Wrangler? And right now you can save up to $10,000 off MSRP. Don't miss your chance to save on one of America's best-selling SUVs.
What's this I hear about 50 vehicles under 20 grand?
Yes. At the Hoblet Certified Pre-Owned Supercenter, we have nearly 200 vehicles in stock, including Hemis, diesels, heavy duties, 4x4s, and 50 under $20,000. So whatever you're looking for, you can find it at Hoblet. We're a 5th-generation family dealer, and when you buy from Hoblet, you're treated like family because you become family. Don't miss our award-winning customer service and some of the best prices you will find on the truck of your dreams.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
10,000 total net savings on select new 2025 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon X after 5,000 factory rebates and 5,000 dealer discounts. 3 at this net savings. Sample VIN 622117. See dealer for details.
Hi, I'm Michael from the War and Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
I like my paper chromatic. Large bill, please, while you at it. You haven't, but ain't having like this. If you ain't got it, you can't have it like this. I got bread, got sauce, got guac. One question, you have it or not? You haven't, but ain't having like this. If you ain't got it, you can't have it like this. I got bread, got sauce, got guac. One question, you have it or not?
Your afternoon home for Kings Talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Chris Watkins joining us today. And as soon as Chris Watkins reunites with myself, big things start happening in sports. Probably a coincidence, but I don't know, Chris. Maybe there's something to it. Big news today. We just had it a short time ago. You've probably heard by now. Micah Parsons on his way from the Cowboys to the Green Bay Packers. Packers have a deal to acquire Parsons. You already have a contract extension with him. I know you mentioned the numbers. 4 years, $188 million extension, including $120 million fully guaranteed at signing. So, Chris, as you said, Parsons is now he will be the highest paid non-quarterback in the history of the NFL. And 2 first-round picks and defensive lineman Kenny Clark go from Green Bay to the Cowboys. Kenny Clark's been a Pro Bowl tackle for a few years, but, man, massive deal. Just smells and feels like a massive loss for the Star Hats, the Cowboys.
Yeah, absolutely massive deal. Doesn't really get bigger than this in football, especially not at this point in the season. So, never ceases to amaze me how the NFL can stay in the spotlight. But this one definitely deserves to be. I mean, this is absolutely insane. And again, I'm a little bit surprised at the fact that Jerry was willing to move him on to such another big brand like the Packers. Again, like the Packers, big legacy franchise. He can make the headlines in Green Bay, and it feels like that's something that I would have thought Jerry would want to avoid is, hey, this guy doesn't want to be on the Cowboys. Well, I'm going to show you how bad it can get. And again, I'll send you to Jacksonville. I'll send you to Tennessee or somewhere where no one's ever going to hear from you again. But send him to the Packers, man. I think Micah's podcast might be safe.
Did Jerry get more for Micah Parsons than the Mavericks got for Luka? Kenny Clark is
I think so.
As Ramsey pointed out.
Yeah.
Kenny Clark's not terrible. He's been good. And then 2 firsts.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what the Luka picks situation was, but I mean, it was underwhelming for sure. I mean, yeah, can Kenny Clark be the Anthony Davis of this situation?
Mm-hmm.
That's probably giving Kenny Clark a little bit of respect,
Maybe a little, but
I think he's 3-time Pro Bowler, so it's not nothing. I think there's a little bit of something there for sure. And they definitely got more than the Kings got for De'Aaron Fox. I'll tell you that. That's 100%.
Why do you got to bring it back to that?
There's a lot of different things.
It really looks like 2 sides were just dug in.
Yeah.
It appears that the Cowboys had a deal with Micah Parsons, and they thought they did. Jerry Jones thought he had a handshake, and Micah Parsons like, yeah, you got to run it by my agent. And
Right.
Jerry's like, we have a handshake. I'm not running by your agent.
Yeah.
And Micah Parsons like, you got to run it by my agent.
That's just how it works. And it feels like I'd be curious to know what that number was, how close that was to the 188 or the 120 or what even was discussed. In terms of the specifics there, because as we learned with the Juan Soto negotiations as well, I wonder, what is included, the family suites and all those kind of fun stuff, all the extras. I'm sure Jerry can throw on private planes and
imagine all the
tons of
cheese that is part of this deal.
Goodness, I can't imagine. He can get just blocks delivered to his home. He can have a house of cheese.
A house made of cheese is part of this deal.
I'm sure he can. Yeah, that's going to be the tough part is finding real estate in Wisconsin, but I'm sure they figured it out at this point.
Yeah. So we'll await further details, but that is It is a done trade. Micah Parsons leaving the Cowboys. So now that shifts the power balance perhaps in the whole NFC. Doesn't shift it so much as just boosts Green Bay's position as a contender. And I don't know, if you're a Cowboy fan, you got to be thinking, hopefully those picks will end up being good. And until then, maybe Dak will be all right.
That's your only hope, is that the offense, I mean, they remind me a lot of an NFC version of the Bengals right now, where, you look at the offense and it's undeniable. Like that's a playoff caliber offense. You could argue that's a championship contending offense. It wouldn't be absurd to say that offense is worthy of being, one of the best in the NFL. They're going to put up crazy pass yards this year, but the defense is just not there. I mean, they've been very opportunistic in the past. They had that Trayvon Diggs season where he had a ton of picks and pick sixes. And then the Sac State product a couple years ago led the NFL in picks. They're very, very risk heavy defense, but they just have not been solid. They have not really, built out that side of the ball like we've seen with the Niners, right? That's kind of been the Niners' secret sauce these past couple years of success is, yes, the offense is incredible. We know Kyle Shanahan runs these schemes, these systems, but that defense has been top 5, and that's really been the thing that's kept the Niners in the championship conversation. Right now, Cowboys do not have anywhere near that caliber of defense.
Yeah, so more on that as it becomes available to us. But you mentioned the Kings. You mentioned De'Aaron Fox. What do you think, Chris? I know we have Jared Reynolds coming up today.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about the Kings these days? I know I hear you on with Brendan on the Allen Style Show every week. How are you feeling about ESPN experts pegging Sacramento for 37 wins, 10th in the West?
I think that's a fair guesstimation. I just feel like they're probably going to end up closer to 500.
Really?
Yeah, I think that a
note of optimism.
It's so funny to say optimism and say 500, but 100%. Like, that's what it feels like. I just think a lot of people, and I understand why they're down on the team, and I emotionally feel down on the team as well, but just looking at the players that they have on the roster, I count them right now as going 8 deep. If you bring in Russell Westbrook, count it 9. If you bring in Kuminga, we'll see what they have to trade off. You're potentially 9 to 10 deep every single night. And I just think that there's a really solid collection of guys who, the one thing Scott Perry is, I will say I've figured out about how Scott Perry wants to build his team is he wants guys who every single night bring professionalism and bring a level of lunch pail to work.
It does look like that. Yeah.
I think that's what it is about Russell Westbrook that entices them so much, is not necessarily his stats or anything like that, but I think they want someone who will show what actually showing up every single day, or at least every game, and bringing 120% effort looks like. And I think that's the one thing you have if you have 8 guys who are going to really bring it every night, and you might not be the most talented, but you'll be competitive. To me, that's a lot closer to 40 wins than 30. But that's also if you're incredibly healthy, if all things seem to stack in line. It's funny to say, yeah, I'm optimistic, but it feels like I'm optimistic saying they'll be around 40.
I came to the same conclusion as you on Westbrook, and it took me a long time to get there, because for the longest time, for weeks after we first heard Westbrook, they have interest in Westbrook, I just couldn't figure it out. It didn't make any sense to me. Yeah. And I still wouldn't do it. But last week or so, just as I pondered it, it kind of hit me. Oh, assuming that it's not just the owner going, I want that guy, assuming there's more to it than that, I agree with you. It would have to be Scott Perry and Doug saying he's a better defender than Malik, and he plays hard, and that's what we're trying to instill here. That's what we're trying to lay as a foundation. Again, like I say, I wouldn't do it, but it just like finally understood, okay, maybe that's what they're thinking. I don't agree with it, but I understand the thinking.
That's exactly where I fall into it. I don't agree with it. I don't think it's necessarily the best move that you should do, but if they are going to do it, let's think about the reasons why.
Yeah.
Because we can, whatever, you can roast the coach, you can roast the GM, owner, say they don't know anything. They're not just doing things. They have long meetings. Their entire lives are circled around this team and bringing people onto this team and thinking how they're going to make them better. They are not just doing things. What would be if you're having an hour-long meeting about why Russell Westbrook would be good for this team, what are the points that are being brought up? I think the main selling point is absolutely his toughness, his tenacity, his work ethic. He's been, around the league. Him and DeMar DeRozan, both LA guys, both of very similar age, can probably, be really good vet leaders. doing the show with Alan, I can hear him throwing things back in my head as I say this, but and I'll say one of them, which I do think is a very fair point, to counter the 36-year-old guys, good leaders, you want a good locker room. It's not like the other guys in the locker room are 20, it's not like you have the OKC Thunder locker room where it's a bunch of guys who are under 25.
Yeah,
the problem is you're bringing in a bunch of 36, 30-plus-year-old veterans to be a veteran for 29-year-old Zach LaVine, for Keegan Murray, who I guess is still needing some grooming, but he's 27 years old. Like these are guys who aren't necessarily young pups who need to be, sheltered and brought along. Like, in theory, these are guys who should be entering their prime and shouldn't need that kind of motivation or that kind of example. So that's, again, just where, as I try and find the reason for, there's just so many reasons to push against. But ultimately, I am confused, as this is not the way that I thought this roster would look at this point in the offseason. But saying that, just looking where we're at right now, 10 toes down, like, to me, it's a very, I won't say a very competitive roster, but I think it's a roster full of guys that compete. If you can make the difference of the two.
Yeah. If everything falls together and everything falls into the right slot, you've got a good team. The biggest concern I have is, how are they going to defend when last year, with the best players on this roster together on the floor, they were a terrible defensive team. Yeah. But I think they're also trying to address that too. Meanwhile, a new name has emerged today. Not a new name, but apparently the Kings are taking a different approach when it comes to how to get Westbrook in here. We'll look at that when we come right back. It's Chris Watkins and Whitey Cleese. Today, Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Time now for your Sacktown Sports 49ers report, brought to you by Kia of Vacaville, conveniently located beside the Vacaville outlets. The Niners finished preseason play on Saturday with a 30-23 win over San Diego. Curtis Robinson had a 32-yard interception return for the go-ahead touchdown, and Tariq Owens, son of Terrell Owens, caught a touchdown pass. The 49ers start for real a week from Sunday. They're in Seattle. Listen all season long to 49er football right here on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Football season is here at Kia of Vacaville. You can score big in a new 2025 Kia Niro LX with up to 53 MPG combined at Kia of Vacaville. Perfect for road trips, tailgates, and cruising to Levi Stadium in style and comfort. But don't wait. Inventory is limited at Kia of Vacaville, and these deals won't last long. Visit KiaVacaville.com or stop by right next to the Vacaville outlets for friendly service, easy shopping, and unbeatable value. All in one stop. Kia of Vacaville, where the adventure begins.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Plus free premium delivery with any smart bed and adjustable base. Ends Labor Day. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Avriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with RVs of Sacramento and the Sled Museum of Science and Curiosity. Tickets at CITPFest.com.
Save $10,500 off MSRP. Every Silverado half-ton 5.3 at Elk Grove Chevy. And Elk Grove Chevy has one of the largest selections in the area. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MadeAChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See dealer details. Excludes work trucks and ZR2.
It's the energy all around you. The thrill of the moments to come. The flash of lights. The rush of pure exhilaration. The roar of the crowd. See it, hear it, feel it.
Feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Watkins and Whitey today. So apparently, Chris, Michael Irvin predicted that Micah Parsons wasn't going anywhere.
Yes, shout out Kyle Ledbetter, who helped me piece together the story. Not only did Michael Irvin say, quote, "I guarantee Micah Parsons is not going anywhere," he said it at, at least the clip was posted at 1:59 p.m. Ian Rappaport, quite literally, can't make this up, tweets at 2 p.m. About the Micah Parsons trade. So, he sounded convincing though. You know, that's the Michael Irvin. He says, this is all part of the negotiations. All of it. All of this is just part of the negotiations. Nothing to worry about. I guarantee Micah Parsons isn't going anywhere. As he finishes the sentence.
So what do we get? He guaranteed it, and he was wrong. What do we all get?
No, that's the problem. Is that I guess you get the clip, and I'm sure there'll be a face he made or something that can be a meme for the next couple weeks or something like that. But that's a tough one. That's where if you're Michael Irvin, you just kind of got put in a lose-lose situation there, and I don't know.
Yeah, you'd figure he's probably pretty well connected.
You would think, right? Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
And he's someone who's been in media as well. You would assume he's having the right conversations, but that's a situation where clearly, I don't know. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Just hearing all the back end of when the story is kind of really told. When did all of this happen? Because again, the company line has been through and through. This is all part of the negotiation. Nothing to see here. Don't worry. Michael will be playing week 1. And it does feel like you would have to imagine it's in the past couple days that this thing just came together. And again, much like the Luka Doncic trade, I think the weird thing about it is there's not, I know in the NFL, you don't have pick swaps and things like that, but it's a fairly straightforward trade. It's the D tackle and 2 first-round picks for Micah Parsons. So the fact that it's so simple kind of does, again, make me feel like this came together pretty quickly.
On a scale of 0 to 10, 0 is like no surprise. 10 is like shocking. The Luka trade was probably like a 14.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah.
Where would this one be? 7 or 8?
Feels like an 8 or 9 for me. Again, if there were just no rumors at all of Micah Parsons, and the holdout and the negotiations, obviously I think we're talking more so 14, but there's not as if it's completely out of the blue, but everyone was pushing towards this is not much to see here. And like you said, even yesterday, you're looking at reports of it's not real. There's some teams that have,
team checked in,
done the due diligence, but who hasn't, you're not doing your job if you haven't called about Micah Parsons. And again, it'll be interesting to see, was it an offer that they just couldn't refuse? Doesn't seem to be that way, but, how serious were other teams in their negotiations with the Cowboys? Or is this, again, much like it's funny how Nico Harrison has just changed the conversation to these big trades, but could this have been a situation where, for whatever reason, that's just what Dallas wanted in return, and they said, we want it, we got it, we're gonna get it done.
Jerry must have loved the package.
That had to have been it.
Because you'd think if you're going to trade him, you trade him out of conference.
Yeah. Or at least make the announcement that, hey, you know what? Things have turned, and we are actually taking all offers.
Right.
For
Let's see.
Michael
What do you
Parsons.
got?
You
Yeah.
have a week. The season starts next Sunday or next Thursday.
Yeah.
Bring in your offers. Very strange. Very, very strange. And again, Jerry marches to the beat of his own drum for sure. So, not trying to figure out his logic is going to take us all day, but really just not much of it makes sense. And it's really funny. The more I think about it, the similarities between this and the Luka Doncic trade are pretty ironic.
Oh, poor Dallas fans.
Poor Dallas. I mean, I'm sure they've gotten their fair run of success, but man, yeah, they're going through it right now. And it's not something as a sports fan, like, this is the worst thing that happens, right? Is the best players on your team get traded, and for it to happen in 6 months, maybe a 6-month period or something around there.
Right. Yeah.
That's brutal. I mean, that's just absolutely brutal. And, I know no one's crying for Cowboys fans, but that is just you got to feel for the people out there who are rocking the Mavericks and the Cowboys.
Yep. Speaking of deals, of course, we heard today from Jake Fisher that the Kings, who are trying to figure out a way to get Russell Westbrook on the roster, initially we heard that, they're trying to trade Malik Monk, and then the Kings kind of came out and said, no, we're not necessarily doing that. Jake Fisher says it might be Devin Carter that gets dealt instead of Malik Monk. Again, what does that mean? It's a matter of who's interested, what you could get for him. It's not just up to the Kings to say, okay, we're not trading you, we're trading you. But what did you think of that report? I don't like the idea, me personally, of trading a younger player, and I know that it was from the previous regime, but a younger player with some upside still for a veteran who, even though he's a Hall of Famer, his shelf life with you is going to be relatively brief. I don't necessarily like it, but what do you think?
Yeah, I don't love it either. I think it again kind of creeps into the conversation we were just having, where the logic, it's one thing if you do want Russell Westbrook, but if you're starting to have the conversation of, okay, who do we get rid of to bring him in? That's just another level of commitment that that's again where you lose me. I just don't know where the logic in that makes sense. And I don't know if you're talking about the cost benefit, the benefit I just don't see it. I won't say it's not there. I have a really tough time seeing, you can do the former MVP pitch on me. You can do the triple-double thing on me. He can make impact wherever. I don't think that it's worth potentially the dice roll that Devin Carter could be a rotation piece. Because I think none of us believe Devin Carter can be filling in the shoes of Tyrese Halliburton or De'Aaron Fox. But I think you see Davion Mitchell have the level of success that he had in Miami, which isn't anything out of ordinary. It's just, hey, he's a rotational guy who looks like he can play for any team in the NBA. Obviously everyone's on their individual journey, but it feels like it's not out of the question to see Devin Carter in a similar spot 3 years down the line.
Devin Carter is never going to be what Russell Westbrook was.
Correct.
I get that, right?
That's not going to happen. We can say that.
But when you're looking at the Kings and where they hope to be in a couple years, Devin Carter might be a more valuable asset than Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
Unless you're so determined and confident that, oh, no, this year we're going to surprise people. We're going to be really good. Good for you if you are. I don't see it.
I don't see it either. And again, I think the problem is it's relatively good too, right? Like, again, I think good for the Kings in what they were thinking would be 44 to 46 wins, maybe 48 wins if they're really feeling themselves. But okay. And for what? Russell Westbrook's going to be then 37 the next season. Are you building towards something? Are you building this core towards something? To me, it wouldn't feel like, again, the juice is worth the squeeze there. Regardless of what you feel about Devin Carter's ceiling or his future, I just think that it's worth the having a developmental piece there, and who knows what he can turn into, even if it is a guy who is essentially doing what you hope Russell Westbrook would do this season. I think the years of team control at a low cost, and who knows, potentially he can be better than what you think he could be. I just think it's worth keeping Devin Carter and letting it roll out versus, I guess, what you know in Russell Westbrook. But I think the problem is you don't know what he is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's already taken such big steps back post MVP. Who knows how big this next step back is going to be, where, I mean, there's people in Denver who would tell you he got Mike Malone fired.
There's a reason no one wants him.
And what is that, Mr.
Well,
Gleason?
I can't say for
Well,
sure.
yeah, for sure,
When
right.
you look at that, it's like, well,
it's telling you something.
I
right?
want him when no one else wants him at this point.
Yeah, no, absolutely. If you're the last person left in that room, you should be looking around saying, where did everybody go and why did they leave? And why does it seem like we're the only ones who are desperately knocking at the door?
Yeah. Now, if they were able to trade Devin Carter and get a young front court player with some upside, maybe I'd look at it differently.
Yeah,
So
right.
We'll see.
And that's the thing too, is the order of, or the process of order of operations is going to be key in this too. Like, I think if it just so happened that you did, like you said, get trade Devin Carter for a rotational piece, and so that opens up for Russell Westbrook, sure. But again, where it's being positioned right now as, no, you get rid of Devin Carter just so you're opening, it's essentially a salary dump so you can bring him on. That just feels like you're being asked to be ridiculed. Yeah. And I know you shouldn't operate that way, but you're just lining it up for national media to say, you guys really, just dumped some of your a guy you drafted a year ago to bring in Russell Westbrook at 36 years old. That was worth it to you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels like you're lining yourself up.
And you would still have that potential Westbrook Malik numbers crunch too, but
it becomes even worse.
We're going to circle back to that at some point. When we come back, turn our attention to fantasy football. Have you had your draft yet?
Multiple.
Okay. Yeah. Michael Fabiano, Sports Illustrated senior fantasy analyst, with some last-minute fantasy advice for you. It's coming up next here with the Drive Guys, Chris Watkins and Whitey today, Sacktown Sports.
The Alan Styles Show.
Somebody was talking about the Raiders and how good Derek Carr looked and how they wanted to do the sit him for a year thing, but it's just really hard when you got a Lamborghini in the garage and you want to test it out and drive the Lamborghini around. And who is the Lamborghini in the garage right now for the Kings? Is it Keon? Keegan can't be the Lamborghini. Keegan's playing.
You can listen to the Alan Styles Show Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on 1140 a.m., YouTube, and the Sacktown Sports app.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Labor Day is right around the corner, and Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram want to thank the hardworking folks who keep this country running strong. And they're going to do this by taking the work out of you getting the new or used vehicle you want. They do this by offering the best customer service in the business, having the largest selection in Northern California, and offering the lowest prices on Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and America's truck, the Ram. See for yourself online at SacsSuperstore.com why more and more people are making their way to Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Carmichael Dave here for my friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Yes, I always tell you they are a family-owned operation, been in business since 81, A-plus Better Business Bureau, but it is hot. We are in those Sacramento hot months. I want to focus on them being your second opinion partner. What does that mean? Maybe you've got somebody you're working with or you've worked with in the past in the HVAC world. Guess what? They want to give you a second opinion. How much does it cost? Nothing. You call them up and say, hey, can I get a second opinion on this deal? They come out and they either say, wow, that's a great deal, you should feel better about that. Or they say, we can beat that price. And usually they're going to beat it by a lot. Guess what? You just saved money and it didn't cost you anything to find out. It's a no-lose situation. Go with a trusted company. American Energy, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Attention taxpayers. If you owe $5,000 or more and have missed another tax deadline, you're officially on the IRS's radar. The IRS has resumed aggressive collections. That means wage garnishments, bank levies, even seizures of your home, car, or retirement accounts. If you owe $5,000 or more and missed the deadline, you're stacking new debt on top of what you already owe. Call Priority Tax Relief now. Their experts fight back fast and are saving their clients millions in tax debt every month.
I owed over $50,000
and they settled it for pennies on the dollar. These guys are as legit as they come.
After speaking on my behalf with the IRS, my entire debt of $25,000 will be eliminated.
Whether you've received collection letters or you're already facing liens and garnishments, call for your free consultation. There are no upfront fees. Priority tax relief. Let's make your taxes our priority. Call 800-406-1584. 800-406-1584. 800-406-1584.
Priority tax relief.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Avriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with RVs of Sacramento and the Smud Museum of Science and Curiosity. Tickets at CITPFest.com.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140. The Tribe Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
How about that? Those pesky Giants have just walked off the Cubs. Jung-Hoo Lee with a base hit to right field. I think that was a 4-3 final, if I'm not mistaken.
4-3, yep.
And the Giants win it.
Is that 4 straight for the Giants?
How about that? Yes. Giants winning today. Five straight wins.
Yeah, there you go.
They're determined to save Bo Mel's job.
Yeah, yeah. Many have tried to write him off, but yeah, you know, they're showing a little bit of fight down the stretch here, and you know, I won't hold my breath, but you know, yeah, it's nice to see him play well, have some fun.
Some Giants fans haven't given up on that wild card.
Nope. Some of them
which is really, let's be honest, the whole point of having the wild card.
Yeah, right. Is to
even
keep
when your team's like, fans go, you tell me there's a chance.
6.5 back as of right now. I'm not sure if it's 100% updated.
With one team ahead of them, right? Because the Reds are between them, and
Yep.
So the baseball season is fading. The A's playing really well. Giants making a little run, but you know we got the football season coming up, and we're going to talk to a fantasy football expert, Michael Fabiano. He, just a word of warning, he's a Cowboy fan, so we don't know what kind of mood he's going to be in.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah.
I guess not a good one, but hopefully
we'll see.
We'll see.
Before we get to him, Chris, I know you're in what, 7, 8
fantasy
leagues?
I've trimmed it down. I've probably been asked to be in about 7 or 8, and thank you know, it's a compliment in many ways. Obviously, it means you're well liked, but I can't.
Fun to have in the league.
I can't say yes to everybody. So I think I've trimmed it down to 4 this year, all pretty immediate, like family, immediate friends. I think I have another direct family league. So I've trimmed them down from about 6 to 8 to about 4. So that feels healthy, but I always say the healthiest range is 2 to 3 is the right number. You can definitely, because you know, after 3, you're really just plugging holes. Like you're not really paying. I don't have any children yet, but I would assume it's much like having 4 toddlers running around, and it's just like I can't really give 100% to all of them, and so I have to give a certain percentage to them.
And I know a lot of people play multiple teams, many teams. So I know it's how most people do it, but you're at cross purposes a lot, right? Or one good thing happens. Oh, that's great for my one team, but it's hurting my other team.
Yeah, that can happen, absolutely. Or you're just too invested into one thing, and it's like I have Jalen Hurts on all 4 of my teams, and Jalen Hurts get hurt, and all of a sudden, all of your entire season is done. So yeah, it works in both ways. And yeah, I definitely get it. It's the thing that I think a lot of purists don't like about football is that you're not really, locked in at all. You're just kind of floating, but I don't know. I think it's a good I don't know, a lot of people have said it's like the last version of male bonding. And I
Really?
definitely think there is something to it that, like, girls, they're great at scheduling hangouts and all this stuff, grabbing lunch, all that stuff. But guys, like, guy friends, I won't see a guy friend for a month and a half, 2 months, and we'll see each other and act like it was, a couple days or whatever. But I think fantasy football is just a great way of, like, keeping in touch with friends from high school. Like, it's just a really easy way of keeping in contact with people.
That's one of my favorite lines in any movie, and it's baseball fantasy. But Knocked Up, where the woman thinks Paul Rudd's cheating on her, so she follows him, and he's at his draft.
Exactly.
And she walks in, and he goes, "Honey, I got Matsui."
Yeah, exactly. That's what it feels like.
Yes,
That's 100% what it feels
All
like.
right, we just got word that our next guest, nice enough to join us, he's not in the greatest frame of mind after his Cowboys have traded Micah Parsons. Sports Illustrated senior fantasy analyst Michael Fabiano with us. Michael, how are you today? Are you holding up in wake of this news?
No, I need to drink, and I don't even drink. But I need to tonight. I honestly may have a beer. I'm disgusted. I'm trying not to swear on the air. I'm like so disgusted. I've been a Cowboys fan since I'm 8, and I hate Jerry Jones. I can't stand him. The Brian Schottenheimer thing, I thought that was going to like put me over the edge, and this is just 10 times worse. So I'm looking forward to talking fantasy football with you guys, because I can't even deal with this moron who runs this team anymore. He's literally ruining the lives of Cowboys fans everywhere.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, and I don't mean to rub salt in the wound, but a lot of people, a lot of Cowboy experts like Michael Irvin, just moments before we found out about the trade, he said, "I guarantee you nothing's going to happen." So were you thinking there was no way this deal was ever going to happen? That seemed to be what most Cowboy pundits were saying.
I mean, and I apologize, because if you guys hear my phone keep dinging, everyone's texting me, and it's ridiculous right now. It's like unbelievable. I'm getting literally like I've gotten like 100 texts in the last like 2 minutes. So I thought, much like what we've seen, with like Trey Henderson and some other players, that this Fredrickson, was going to get done, even though people are mad because they just, I want to be traded and I don't want to play for the team anymore. And, Terry McLaurin was mad, and a lot of times it just gets done. Right. And I was like, okay, let's hope it gets done. I never thought he'd get traded, and they didn't think he'd get traded for 2 first-rounders and Kenny Clark. Like, the Packers are a good team. So what are we getting in return? 2 first-round picks at what, 24 to 32? Listen, again, I don't know if he's trying to do his Herschel Walker deal, but Jerry Jones will never be smarter than Jimmy Johnson. It's the only reason the Cowboys win those 3 Super Bowls. Let's put it that way. I don't give him for any credit other than hiring Jimmy in the first place. And then, of course, egos got in the way and he ruined the entire thing. I didn't think they would do this. I thought that they'd be able to get over it. A lot of times this happens. The 2 sides are mad, and then they end up embracing at the end, and there's a nice deal that happens, and everyone's happy. Now he's going to a Packers team that I hope they go to the Super Bowl. I really do. I hope they go to the Super Bowl. At this point, I hope the Cowboys win 2 games. I mean, listen, I've been through 1-15 and 3-13 back in the day, like when Steve Walsh was the quarterback and we beat the Redskins 1 time at RFK, and then 3. I've been through all that stuff. This is just as bad. Wow. It's just as bad. It's brutal. I feel bad for the city of Dallas, because not only do you lose Micah Parsons, but I mean, Luka got traded last year too to the Lakers.
Yes.
So the city of Dallas right now, we better be careful. There may be riots in the streets.
Going through it.
Yeah.
Michael, to bring it to a fantasy perspective, I guess in a way, isn't this kind of good for the Cowboys offensive players in fantasy? I know a lot of people talk about how for the Bengals, the Bengals lack of defense is going to be good for, Jamar Chase is going number 1 in drafts. In a for you, especially, a very sick, twisted way. Isn't this kind of or can be good for the Cowboys offensive players?
Great analysis, my friend. I'm glad you brought it back to fantasy into a positive thing. That's very good. Yes. When a bad defense can not stop the opponent, and the offense has to continually try and score points in order to erase deficits, etc., yes, that's a good thing. I mean, we've seen that a lot. That's like even like the Lions last year, right? I mean, they had all the injuries on the defensive side. The offense just had to keep scoring and keep scoring and keep scoring. So from a fantasy standpoint, it's a pretty good thing because the Cowboys are going to stink on defense. They're not going to be able to rush the passer. And that means that the offense and Dak and CD and Pickens and Jake Ferguson, I won't mention the backfield because it's not very good. These guys all should stuff the stat sheets. That don't mean they're going to win games, but they're certainly going to stuff the stat sheets. So yes, thank you for bringing a positive to this. And again, I apologize for the pings.
No problem.
Because I'm not kidding you. I'm getting hundreds of text messages, and it's from friends who say they're my friends.
Exactly.
And they're absolutely just squeezing my shoes right now. They're absolutely looking to dig the knife in deeper. These are my friends. The Miz, my pal, the WWE superstar, texted me and said, I kind of like this right now. I'm loving it. Does that make me mean? I'm like, yes, I hate you. I know. But that's what I'm getting right now. Everyone's just piling on. And listen, have your fun. It is what it is. I know what the season's going. I mean, listen, the Cowboys maybe would have made the playoffs, Micah, maybe not. Maybe they would have snuck in. They wouldn't have won anyways once they got there.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'm go on my Twitter and my Instagram and my TikTok. You will see a video where my head literally explodes during the course of the video. But yeah. Okay. Let's talk some more fantasy.
Yes. Michael Fabiano, nice enough to join us as senior fantasy analyst, Sports Illustrated. Maybe I'm wrong here, but I don't think anybody will be able to run against the Cowboys with Kenny Clark in the middle. Michael.
Now you're just like one of my friends who's seeing me digging the knife in. And you know what?
Sorry.
We wouldn't even need Kenny Clark if the Cowboys hadn't drafted Matthew Smith, who was supposed to be this great run stuffer from Michigan who stinks.
Now you got him going.
Because Jerry's terrible. I mean, and the whole thing too, like, the documentary came out on Netflix and it tried to paint him as like this. I still hate him because I don't believe any of that stuff. So, and now forget about it. Like, honestly, the problem is that no matter what, like, fans are still going to go to the games and his pockets are still going to get filled with cash.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that's all that matters to him.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't care what he says about, I want to win and I'm all in and all this BS. Listen, man, actions speak louder than words. And the Cowboys host, I believe, Green Bay in week 4. And I hope every Cowboys fan goes to that game wearing a Micah Parsons Packers jersey. I really do. You guys are loving this?
We're not laughing at your misery.
My anger is entertaining you.
It's passion. It's the passion that I
we
love.
appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you would love to right now talk about a division rival in the Giants. I'm curious, especially from a local perspective as well. Cam Scatterbo, a local guy, Rio Linda High School here in Sacramento, was amazing at Arizona State. Gets drafted by the Giants this year. He's kind of caught up a little bit in a crowded backfield. Devin Singletary, Tyrone Tracy as well. What do you kind of see for Cam Scatterbo this season?
It's a sleeper type in fantasy, a guy that you can get probably somewhere in round 9, round 10, round 11, depending on the size of your league. Certainly a talented guy, a well-rounded guy, a guy that I don't watch a lot of college football, but once the season's over, and I'm getting ready for my draft prep, like I'll, watch YouTube stuff on him, and he's just a fun player to watch. You can catch the ball out of the backfield. So I think that's going to be ended up as a committee, but Tyrone Tracy is a good player too. So I don't know that, Scatterbo is going to come in and take that job. I think it's going to be a committee. Tracy's still getting drafted ahead of Cam, but Cam's certainly getting drafted as like an RB4, RB5 type with some potential upside in PPR leagues. Because if you think about it, I mean, you look at the Giants offense, they've got Malik Neighbors. Who else? I mean, Tyrone Tracy's good. I mean, he's not elite. Malik Neighbors is an elite player. There's no doubt about that, but they need weapons. And, if Scatterbo can come in and be that weapon that Brian Daboll can utilize, then, he could end up being a guy that you could see having some value in leagues where you get points for catches, because he is a pretty good pass catcher. And I mean, he could also pound it. These guys are killing me with these text messages. These guys, he can also pound it near the goal line too. So that's, you guys hear it, right?
No,
it's nonstop.
Well,
so you guys can't stop. You hear it. So that's good.
No.
Literally every second in my ear is a pain.
Well, we really appreciate your time. I got to ask you about.
I feel bad I feel bad though because we haven't really talked a lot of fantasy. So,
well, that's
I'll
up to
come
us.
back on
Well,
that.
we'll steer it that way. I got a question for you about the first pick. We have a friend, Alan Stiles, does the show before the show, and he's got the first pick in a, what is that, 15 team?
15 team.
Yeah, and he's not sure what to do with the first
Wow.
pick. I was telling him
The second pick. He said the second pick was where he was struggling.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. So he knows what to do first, but when it comes back around, he doesn't know what to do. That's right. Thank you, Chris. Maybe should he just trade out of that first spot, or what do you think,
Maybe
Michael?
he can get 2 firsts and Kenny Clark for it.
I didn't say it. You did.
Yeah, no. So it's a redraft league, and he's got the first overall pick, which means that it's probably going to be Jamar.
Yeah, and I think that's what he says. Yeah.
Right. And so when you come back around, it's really following the flow of the draft. I'd probably want to get a wide receiver and a running back because I don't know that I want to wait again until round 4 when I've got to wait all that time for 4 and 5 to get one running back.
Mm-hmm.
So especially in a bigger league, I try to be as balanced as possible. And I know it's harder in a league that has so many teams, but I'd go Jamar first. And then in rounds 2 and 3, I'd go, wide receiver, running back, best players available, and kind of go with that. You can also make an argument for potentially getting a Trey McBride in the third round if he's still there, because, that gives you one of the 2 elite tight ends in fantasy football. But typically I don't really do that. I'd like to wait on a tight end because I feel like I can get, a Jake Ferguson, a David Njoku, and Evan Ingram, in rounds 8 or 9, but that's also in a 12-team league. When you're talking about 15, it's going to be a little bit earlier. So I think McBride's also worth a look there if he's available in the third round to kind of give you an advantage at the tight end position.
Michael, which 49ers do you feel confident in this year? It feels like, obviously there's a ton of different options, but with Ayuk out for an unknown amount of time, who knows what Juwan Jennings in his contract and injury situation. And then obviously the biggest question mark in Christian McCaffrey, where to take him in the first round. Just which Niners do you feel like you would feel confident? Obviously Ricky Pearsall is out there. And then Brock Purdy as the quarterback option. It just kind of feels like it's a little bit of a dart throw with the Niners guys right now.
Kittle's the only guy that I would feel confident in because, just by the definition of confident, I don't think Christian McCaffrey's worth a first round pick. You want a guy who's solid. You want a guy who is going to put up numbers, who's durable, who's consistent, like a Jamar or a Bijan. Or you got to say Bijan now. You can't say Bijan anymore. Or an Amon-Ra St. Brown or somebody like that. A Malik Neighbors, a CD, Jefferson. McCaffrey has played 7 or fewer games in 3 of the last 5 years. He's 29 years old. The 49ers offensive line has got question marks. I mean, this is not an elite offensive line. Trent Williams is 37, their best player. And you also have to factor in that they brought in Brian Robinson for a reason. I know that Garendo and James are hurt, but I wonder ultimately if they brought Robinson in because they do know that McCaffrey has been prone to injuries. And even last season, when he played 4 games, he averaged 12 points a game, and he's 29. And listen, McCaffrey's awesome. And if he had stayed healthy for the majority of his career, we would be talking about him in the same breath as Marshall Faulk and LaDainian Tomlinson, like the Mount Rushmore of fantasy football running backs. But I don't want to if he's there in the second round, I'll take him begrudgingly kind of, but he's not going to be because, people say no risk it, no biscuit. Okay. But I don't want to risk it, my biscuit in the first round. I want to make sure that my guys, I have confidence in. Yeah. I'm even worried about Saquon. Because Saquon Barkley is coming off a season with over 370 touches. That's been tough for running backs to overcome. A season with over 400 combined carries in the regular season and postseason. That's difficult to overcome historically if you look at the trends. Every running back who's rushed for 2,000 yards in NFL history has scored at least 99 fewer fantasy points the following year. And that was Eric Dickerson. And a bunch of the guys scored way fewer than that. Okay, so and he's on the Madden cover if you're superstitious. But so even Saquon worries me, but I'd rather have Saquon over McCaffrey. I just don't understand how people see what he did a few years ago. Oh my God, how many guys at age 29 or older have actually been elite at running back? Honestly, Matt Forte had an elite season. Derrick Henry's had a couple of elite seasons when you're talking about running backs at 29 or older. Curtis Martin had a really good season at 31. But I mean, it's like few and far between. I think, there might be like 5 running backs in the last 15 years who've scored over 290 fantasy points at age 29 or older. And if you're drafting McCaffrey in the first round, that means he's probably a top 5 running back on your list. He's got to score like 290 to be in the top 5 and actually make that pick worthwhile. So I like to take risks, not in round 1.
Mm-hmm. We're getting into some fabalytics here with Michael Fabiano from Sports Illustrated. How about quarterbacks? Who do you see as a real bust-out candidates at quarterback this year?
I like Drake May a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at last year's starts in the games where he played the majority of the snaps, and you average out his rushing yards over 17 games, he rushes for over 600 yards. If you're a quarterback who does that, you're going to be a top 10, top 12 quarterback. And you're going to add on, maybe 3-4 rushing touchdowns. This is a kid who can rush for like 650 yards, throw for maybe 3,200, 18 touchdowns. He doesn't have to have like these massive numbers as a passer. I mean, look at Justin Fields a few years ago. He rushed for over 1,000 yards, which is, bananas, but his passing numbers weren't great. Guys, Tim Tebow was a viable fantasy starter. And when that guy threw a ball, people would point their shotguns in the air thinking it was a duck. I mean, this thing was awful. And he was a very viable fantasy starter because he ran with the ball. So I really like Drake May. I mean, obviously Caleb Williams is going to come to mind because there's no excuses now. You've got an offensive-minded head coach in Ben Johnson. They added a whole mess of weapons in Chicago. So he's also a player that you want to keep tabs on. J.J. McCarthy, Michael Penix, or a couple of other quarterbacks that, could put up really good numbers this season, and they're going really late in drafts.
Michael, we talked a little bit about Scottaboo earlier, and you kind of mentioned Brian Robinson as well. Who are some of your top handcuff running backs? I know Charbonnet's obviously somebody that that a lot of people are high on, and Jordan Mason as well in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Who are kind of your favorite handcuffs?
I don't even think Jordan Mason's a handcuff, though. I think he's going to split the workload. Like Aaron Jones is going maybe 2 or 3 rounds ahead of Jordan Mason, even though he's 30 coming off a season with more touches than he's ever had. Mason's 26 with very little wear and tear. And I think that's going to be a 50-50 split. So I don't even know if that's a handcuff situation. Like Charbonnet, I think with Walker is a handcuff situation. Robinson with CMC, I think is a handcuff situation. Tyler Algier with Bijan is like a handcuff situation. Hell, I mean, you're going to see Will Shipley get drafted if he is the number 2 running back in Philadelphia, which it looks like he will be, behind Saquon in some deeper leagues. So, there are some running backs out there who you want to try and handcuff. Like, for example, Derrick Henry, I don't know who his handcuff is. Is it Justice Hill? I mean, I guess so. But, I mean, that's a massive downfall. So you want to handcuff certain backs, especially guys who have had, concerns with injuries or they're coming off a big season or a big workload. Just remember, the NFL is only predictable in its unpredictability. And you have to think outside the box. Last year, C.J. Stroud was considered to be maybe a top 5 fantasy quarterback because the Texans made all these moves to make the offense great, and he wasn't any good. Baker Mayfield scored more fantasy points than Patrick Mahomes, and so did Bo Nix. If you predicted that, you should be doing what I do because nobody predicted that. You always have to think outside the box. But part of that is making sure that you're ensuring some of these running backs who go into the season with high expectations, like a Saquon, and just ensuring yourself and making sure that you have some sort of fallback plan, whether it's having backfield depth or drafting Will Shipley late, or, if you have Bijan, Tyler Algier, because you want to try and cover yourself as much as possible.
Michael Fabiano, senior fantasy analyst, Sports Illustrated. Appreciate your time very much, Michael, especially given that it's a tough day for you as a Cowboy fan. So we'll let you go on this one. Green Bay defense, do they look like a better pick than maybe?
Oh, great. They're awesome. Yeah, they're great. First round pick. I mean, they're actually playing the Lions in the first week, so I don't know that I'd want to play them. But tomorrow I'm going to have to put in my rankings and move the Packers up a little bit. You literally just got one of the elite pass rushers in the entire league for 2 first rounders who are going to be late, and Kenny Clark. So Green Bay Packer fans, go celebrate. Go have a bunch of beers. Put on your Chief heads. Have fun. As the rest of all of us Cowboy fans, wallow in our pity. And, it's going to be a woe is me weekend for Cowboys fans. I think a lot of Cowboys fans are going to get drunk this weekend for Labor Day weekend, and they probably deserve it.
Thank you very much, Michael. We appreciate your insight and your time very much. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, take care.
I thought we were pretty good. We were, we had some fun with him. We weren't too mean.
No, that was great.
You asked one of the great questions I've ever heard. One of the great redirects.
I try.
You're a Cowboy fan, and the Cowboys treated Micah Parsons, but
he's a fantasy guy. I'm trying to, bring him back to his comfort zone. Happy place. Great. I heard the thoughts starting to get pretty dark. I was like, hey, let's go back. Okay, flowing river, all of this stuff.
And he really appreciated that.
That's what I'm here for. I can't provide everything that Kyle Draper can bring, but at least I can try and ease the situation like that.
And I know some of the things he said were things that you said before the show when we were talking with Alan. So you must be a pretty good fantasy player yourself, huh?
Look, you don't have 12 teams and don't learn anything. Okay. So it's that time of year to where to be fair, you got me pretty peak fantasy right now. Like I've had all my drafts in the past 2 weeks. So I'm in the throes of it right now.
When is the Chris Watkins Sackdown Sports Fantasy Football Show going to debut? Still working on it.
They pay me. I'm like that sounds like extra work to me. So you got that's my Patreon or something.
Back to the Kings when we come back. The Kings have just taken the most confusing title. What does that mean? We'll find out next on Sackdown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Future Ford.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Clear skies overnight tonight with temperatures gradually cooling off. We'll drop off into the lower 60s by Friday morning, and then daytime highs pushing into the mid to upper 90s under sunny skies and light winds. Get the latest forecasts on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
It's the final days of Summer Closeout 25 at your Future Ford dealers. Get closeout pricing on F-150, Bronco, Explorer, Mach-E, and more. But don't wait. It all ends Monday at Future Ford Lincoln in the Roseville Auto Mall and Future Ford of Sacramento at I-80 in Madison.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Plus free premium delivery with any smart bed and adjustable base. Ends Labor Day. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-838-6767. That's 800-838-6767.
Switching to Progressive is a game-winning call. And that reminds us of other game-winning calls in the history of sports.
It was a doubleheader in August and really hot inside the concession stand. So instead of waiting for people to come to me, I figured I'd walk around yelling, "Hot dogs here!" And that's how I became the first hot dog vendor in sports.
Okay, not really a game-winning call, but it was a good call. You can make one too. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's almost over, but the heat is pressing on. If you've got battery trouble, stop by AutoZone for free battery testing. It may just need a charge, and we'll do that for free too. If you do need a battery, we've got options starting at just $89.99. And we'll recycle your old battery for free. Now that's a strong start. Don't miss the end of summer sale. Now at AutoZone until September 22nd.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Listen to the 49er Rewind daily. Brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza, the official pizza of the 49ers. Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be. Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Avriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with RVs of Sacramento and the Sled Museum of Science and Curiosity. Tickets at CITPFest.com.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity. Introducing the 5-year price guarantee. One internet price, 5 years guaranteed. Well, perhaps hidden in the attention given to rookies like Nick Kurtz and Jacob Wilson has been the play of outfielder Colby Thomas. Thomas, a third-round pick out of Mercer University, in his first 61 at-bats this year, 4 doubles, 4 home runs, and 13 RBIs.
Welcome to Dugout Radio, the undisputed home of Boomtown Baseball.
The Wi-Fi is booming with Xfinity, baby. Our next caller is
Stacy. How do you stay locked in on every pitch and play?
We stream it all live on Xfinity Internet with low lag, 99.99% network reliability, and speeds faster than a base runner beating the throw to home plate.
I stream on my TV, tablets, even my smart fridge.
Smart fridge?
With all those games, we gotta refuel.
Stream live baseball with Wi-Fi built for the biggest moments. Xfinity. Restrictions apply. Actual speeds vary, not guaranteed.
Labor Day savings are on at Elk Grove Chevy with $10,500 off MSRP. Every new 2025 Silverado 1500 5.3 liter after all rebates. And Elk Grove Chevy has one of the largest selections in the Sacramento area. $10,500 off new Silverado exclusively at the Elk Grove Chevy Silverado Supercenter. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MetaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Excludes work parking DR2, not trading 2011 Chevy car truck, not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers.
Made a great deal at Meta.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/SacktownSports1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Can you believe it? Micah Parsons traded to the Packers. It's reminding a lot of people of the Luka Doncic trade. It's reminding some people of the Khalil Mack trade. Joe Spadoni works for 95.7 A Game in the Bay Area. He points out on X, the Cowboys were actually an indirect benefactor of the Khalil Mack trade in 2018. Raiders traded Mack Labor Day weekend. A month later, traded Amari Cooper to Dallas for a first-round pick in 2019, after it became clear John Gruden was rebuilding. And you have some 49er information for us?
Yes, this was, who was it according to? Let's see here. Ian Rappaport, free agent receiver Kendrick Bourne visiting with the 49ers today.
There you go.
Commanders tomorrow. Ian Rappaport says the framework of a deal is in place for both just in case. So it seems like Kendrick Bourne either heading to San Francisco or to Washington.
49ers need him.
Yeah, they need him a lot more, which I guess could probably
the commissioner
lean
should come in and
right.
say the Niners need you more, so you have to go.
That's
there.
how it goes. Yep, that is how it works. It does seem like on occasion, I mean, if you look at the Niners schedule, maybe you could draw some conclusions to some coercion here. I mean, the Niners definitely do need Kendrick Bourne a lot more. And I think, you look at Washington's receivers, obviously they just kind of squared away the Terry McLaurin thing, but it just feels like there's a much bigger avenue for Kendrick Bourne to have some runway in San Francisco.
Yeah, I was figuring once the 49ers picked up Marquez Valdez-Scantling that, well, they're going to activate him because they only had, 2 healthy wide receivers. But as we discussed earlier, they have put him on the practice squad. And then Gage, they re-signed him after cutting him Tuesday. And I believe he's on the active roster. But it looks to me like they think much more highly of Kendrick Bourne than they do of Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Yeah, I mean, at this rate, it wouldn't be surprising if Terrell and Tariq Owens are signed by the Niners. I mean, it's just like, I mean, they, especially with how they like to run their offense, like they, in an ideal world, want to have a nice balanced run pass game. Obviously, with Christian McCaffrey coming back from injury, you would think they're not going to try and run him into the ground from day one. But yeah, I mean, if you just look at the pass catchers around there, Juwan Jennings and Ricky Pearsall. Just last season, Ricky Pearsall fits in, or
Sky Moore,
Kittle as well. Sky Moore. There's just not many people that Brock Purdy has much connection with. I mean, it does feel like it's going to go a lot to George Kittle. Obviously, he's always going to be there as that safety blanket. But if Juwan Jennings isn't playing those first 4 weeks, you're going to rely a lot on Ricky Pearsall and I guess Christian McCaffrey in the pass game. But it's
a record catches for a fullback, Kyle Juszczyk, with 13 catches in the first half.
That's what we're on pace for. We are on pace for Kyle Juszczyk really being the Niners' top 5 receivers this week or in week 1. And it's a they start in Seattle too. Like it's a really important game 1, on the road at least, so it's not going to count against you as a home game. But with not much time to put it together in a really tough Seattle team, week 1, it's again feeling like the Niners are heading into week 1 with a lot of uncertainty and a lot of trust us when the balls are rolled out there, we will be at our best. And you can only rely on that for so many times. You look at that Niners roster head to toe, and it's a lot of new names and a lot of guys who don't have the proving ground of we've been here, done that with this team before.
Yeah, it's one thing to have a lot of young players on defense that you're relying on, and they know that, and they're counting on those players. Those players, the young players they drafted defensively are replacing some really good, productive players. So, all right, at least you've got young players there. We get the plan. Wide receivers, like, you don't have anybody. You don't have people.
And it doesn't help that their offensive line isn't very good either, right? I mean, you have Trent Williams obviously still there, but he's getting a year closer to retirement. That offensive line, Dominic Pooney, nice find last year. But if you're not going to have receivers that are going to be able to create separation quickly, you'd at least like to have an offensive line that can buy you some
Kyle
time.
will scheme around it.
I'm sure, right? Yeah, I'm sure he will.
Yes.
It's going to be interesting stuff.
That, of course, is Chris Watkins in today.
I'll try.
We got Ramsey running the board today. Before we get back to the Kings, we were just talking to Michael Fabiani, fantasy analyst, and he's a Cowboy fan, and he's having a hard time.
It doesn't sound like he's a Cowboy fan anymore.
That's true, huh? Although it almost sounds like it's something like, I can't shake it.
Yeah.
I can't shake it, But I was wondering here, we were talking to him about quarterbacks and players that are going to bust out in the upcoming season. Did you happen to see, Chris, this projection from Connor Orr on first-year quarterbacks?
Don't believe so, no.
I ask you because you're a Viking fan.
Yes.
I'll give you a couple of. He has Cam Ward. Now, I'm not sure what this is based on. I don't know if it's projections, but I think it's more based on feel more than any, like formula. He's got Cam Ward, for example, 15 starts, 3,231 yards, 19 touchdowns, 11 picks, a completion percentage of 61.3, which would be pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So moving on to maybe not technically a rookie, but a first-year quarterback, J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah.
Your guy on the Vikings.
Future Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Projected 16 starts, 3,731 yards.
I like that.
25 touchdown passes, 5 interceptions.
That's right.
And a completion percentage of 68.3.
Not high enough. Not high enough. Higher. Go higher. Come on.
I read that yesterday. We talked about it on the show, and I was wondering if Chris Watkins saw that.
No, I wrote that actually. Is what it was. No, I mean, look, that is definitely one of the more sparkling reviews of JJ or projections of JJ. There's a lot of uncertainty. I will say, in all seriousness, I do lean more towards those numbers, and I think some of it is a little misleading. You look at the numbers and you're like, wow, I mean, JJ McCarthy, even if he's good, he never seems like a kind of prolific passer or anything like that. I've been using the Brock Purdy example. To me, I think the Vikings just hope he can be I think the draft analysis was a high traits Brock Purdy. And I think when you look at who the Vikings have around him, he doesn't need to go out there and be, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. He just needs to give the ball much like Brock Purdy, give the ball to your playmakers in space. You have Jordan Addison, you have Justin Jefferson, you have TJ Hawkinson, you have Aaron Jones, who's been there, done that in the league. Jordan Mason, new running back, invested a ton in their offensive line this offseason, 2 best tackles in football, you could argue. It to me just feels like JJ is driving the Ferrari, and it's just don't crash it. Just give the ball to your playmakers in space, and if you have to make a third down play, go make it. And to me, that's what he did a lot at Michigan. And I know a lot of people weren't very impressed with his Michigan tape. He had a lot of games where he throws under 20 passes, and so
he takes care of the ball. To me, that's the biggest difference between him and Brock Purdy, other than Brock Purdy's actually done it. But Brock gets a little loosey with the ball, loosey-goosey, and J.J. McCarthy does not.
He does not, and I think that's where the 5 interceptions come from. Hopefully, is that again? It's there's no need to take risks. There's a time and place you can make those exciting plays. Try and make plays down the field to Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison. Go ahead and take those risks, but in an ideal world, you really shouldn't be taking more than 2 to 3 risks a game because of the amount of playmakers that the Vikings have on offense.
That's one thing that I think former Viking great Donovan McNabb did well. Donovan
not
McNabb
with the Vikings, let me tell you. He did not do anything
He
well
would
with
take
the
care
Vikings.
of the football.
Yeah.
At least when he was in Philly.
Yeah, he would in Philly, and then he had a Rocky Commander start, and then the Minnesota era is one to be forgotten about. I think that ended up with a Sam Bradford ending the season at quarterback. It was much like a Kings starting the season with Mike Malone and then Ty Corbin and then George Karl. It was it was supposed to be this way, and then somehow by the end of the year we ended up with I guess Sam Bradford's going to be our quarterback.
Did you happen to see the new rivalry uniforms that the NFL trotted out today?
I saw a couple of them. Yeah, I saw the Niners
6 teams, including the Niners.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
Yeah, I think it's fine in terms of how those things can go, but I didn't love them. I mean, they're black uniforms with
Black
the red
pants,
font.
black helmet.
Yeah, black helmet.
Saloon font.
It's
red and gold.
It's not like they, in a good way, they didn't reinvent the wheel there, right? Like sometimes with these new jerseys, it's just like, hey, you have this tradition.
Yeah.
Forget tradition. We're just going to go brand new everything.
Yeah.
At least it's in the spirit. That's what I appreciated. It wasn't too far out there.
I see your point. If you turn on the game, it would take you a minute. You'd be like, who's that? Oh, yeah. That's the 49ers?
And you know what the funny thing is, too? I looked it up. They're wearing them the last week of the season. And so it's not even really as if it's we'll remember that Monday night game where we dominated the Seahawks.
Sell jerseys by having a team wear the uniforms of the jerseys on the last game of the season?
I mean, so many things could have gone wrong. I mean, the season could be completely a wash at that point to where, again, like the jerseys, you look at them and you're like, I don't want to remember that rivalry week where week 18 we're 6-10 and or whatever and played the Seahawks. Like, I don't know.
I know other teams are wearing them earlier in the year and they go on sale. Yeah. I think in September. I
think it was like September 8th, like right after week 1, I believe it is.
Buy those 49er jerseys in September. They won't wear them until the last game of the season.
We get the season. The player that you buy the jersey for might literally never wear the jersey by the end of the year. So it's bold. I don't love them. It's an
Buffalo
alternate
has
jersey.
Like all white. There's
I did see those. Yeah, the Seahawks have one as well that I think is white.
The
the
Seahawks is white mixed in with like the silver and the neon green. It's supposed to be like representing the 12th man. I mean, the Buffalo one to me is clean. All white with silver.
You know what is not clean is Arizona. They literally
look
like
that.
Dirty.
No, I like that one.
But they literally look dirty.
Because it's representing sandstorms and everything in the desert that occur in Arizona.
I understand that. And you have connections
to
Arizona,
right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm with Arizona State, so
I
understand it.
Mom bought you New Jersey and you wore it, played football in the mud.
Okay, yeah, I'm seeing it, and I don't really quite get it. It's kind of like
looks like somebody sprayed chocolate milk all over
It's as if someone tried to do like those Padres, like the
sand,
those like the camo jerseys they had, but they took the camo off and just left it with the. It's just a really weird shade of brown.
The color that you're seeing technically in the background would be considered like a Sedona red, which is basically representing the mountain colors, like in Sedona and what the Arizona Diamondbacks have tried to replicate with their quote unquote Sedona red. So, I mean, I personally like it once I stopped and truly looked at it. I think it's clean.
I appreciate that they're trying to make some kind of statement, but honestly, my first reaction was, oh, what happened to those?
Well, I think you and I have talked about this before, Whitey. It's like, and I kind of mentioned it with the Niners one. Sometimes when you have to take a second to say, wait, which team is wearing those jerseys? It's kind of you lose the point, right? Yeah, it's meant to be a part of your identity. And if it's one thing, if maybe you're doing an homage or a retro jersey or something like that, but if it's something where you really have to try and figure out whose color scheme is this and why is the helmet decal is different.
Like, why am I watching a UFL game?
Right. Yeah. And some of those color rush games, like it's just, it feels like a lot of the times when the NFL tries to do these jersey things, they end up not being very successful.
Like when they had the first color rush game, when they had the Jets playing Buffalo and it was red and green, and people who are red-green colorblind literally could not tell one.
It was all gray. It was just all blob. And, that's the kind of thing where, it sounds like a good idea in premise to, get more jersey. And at the end of the day, that's what this is all about, is jersey sales. And it really doesn't matter how it looks because it's just a different option for people to buy. But
the only color that matters is the green of the money.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
You would like to think that they would still bring out something a little bit nicer. Again, I think the Niners one will work, but as I'm looking at these Cardinal ones, they quite literally have dirt splotches.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, it's not as if it is dirt colored or anything like that. Like, they intentionally have dirt splotches.
All right, when we come back, why the Kings have been cited as one of the league's most confusing teams next. Chris Watkins today. Yay, Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the Roseville Auto Mall.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Clear skies overnight tonight with temperatures gradually cooling off. We'll drop off into the lower 60s by Friday morning, and then daytime highs pushing into the mid to upper 90s under sunny skies and light winds. Get the latest forecasts on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
The Roseville Auto Mall is Northern California's ultimate destination when looking for your next vehicle. Find the largest selection with 20 top brands and get huge savings during our Labor Day sales event going on now at the Roseville Auto Mall, driven to be the best.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Hey, Shark fans. The Esquire IMAX Theater in downtown Sacramento is showing the original blockbuster from 1975, Jaws, 15th anniversary, the IMAX experience.
You yell shark, we've got a panic on our hands on the 4th of July.
Remastered by IMAX for surround sound and crystal clear images. The original Jaws gripping suspense is a must-see on the Esquire IMAX Theater 6-story screen. Get reserved seats early to limited screenings at IMAX.com/Sacramento. Jaws playing this week only at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
I'm with Vince Bloom, General Manager and Big Guy at Folsom Lake Dodge.
I think you mean the summer deal guy.
Vince, the summer deal guy. And why's that, Vince?
Because summertime means the deals are heating up at Folsom Lake Dodge. I'm talking hot deals you don't want to miss.
I know what you mean. During the Make This the Summer event at Folsom Lake Dodge, I see you can save over $15,000 off a new 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4. Over $15,000.
But that's not the only summer deal at Folsom Lake Dodge.
Far from it. I see the summer deal guy is also offering deals on all their Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles.
I am.
Hot summer deals on everything? This really is the summer.
Exactly.
Save over $15,000 off a new 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4. At Folsom Lake Dodge.
In the Folsom Auto Mall and online at FolsomLakeDodge.com.
Discount includes 1,000 West BC SFS retail bonus cash, 1,000 West BC SFS bonus cash, national snackable 20% below MSRP, retail discount $59.91. One at this net discount. Sample VIN SN772855 expires 9/2/25.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
For over 90 years, Hagen Oaks has partnered with the biggest brands in golf to bring cutting-edge technology to your game. Our one-of-a-kind total game fitting offers a level of experience and precision that is unmatched. From driver to putter, footwear to golf balls, our TrackMan-powered performance studios, 3D footwear scanner, and Ping's Ballnamic ball fitting kiosk ensure every piece of your gear is tailored to your swing. Trust the experts at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Total game fitting starts here.
Attention taxpayers. If you owe $5,000 or more and have missed another tax deadline, you're officially on the IRS's radar. The IRS has resumed aggressive collections. That means wage garnishments, bank levies, even seizures of your home, car, or retirement accounts. If you owe $5,000 or more and missed the deadline, you're stacking new debt on top of what you already owe. Call Priority Tax Relief now. Their experts fight back fast and are saving their clients millions in tax debt every month.
I owed over $50,000. And they settled it for pennies on the dollar. These guys are as legit as they come.
After speaking on my behalf with the IRS, my entire debt of $25,000 will be eliminated.
Whether you've received collection letters or you're already facing liens and garnishments, call for your free consultation. There are no upfront fees. Priority Tax Relief. Let's make your taxes our priority. Call 800-406-1584. 800-406-1584. 800-406-1584.
Priority Tax Relief.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Chris Watkins in today, and during the break, you kind of came around to my way of thinking on those 49er helmets, huh? I don't like them.
The helmets don't work for me. The jerseys, I really don't mind, but yeah, the black helmet is kind of where you lose me. I sometimes am a fan of like when those concept helmets pop up here and there, but just I don't know, something to me isn't liking.
It's overkill.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I get the point.
Yeah, you can go with just maybe stick with the gold, or maybe I don't know. I would have maybe liked to see a red helmet.
Year they wore all
one.
black uniforms and they had the gold helmet.
Yes, yeah, and that.
Well, you remember them because I think they beat your team on a Monday night.
I sure do remember that. Yes, I sure do remember that. Yeah.
Very,
very vividly. Yes. Yeah. Vikings don't do well on prime time. So
yeah, but that was a kind of a nice contrast.
It was. Yeah. I really like it.
On the text line here, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. We want the old school retros back. Nike makes ugly ass jerseys for all sports. Now they ruined it.
It is very true. I mean, I'm a big fan of the Niners throwbacks ones. Like the even though it's a small change, but like the different red tint, it's just so much better. Like the maroon one's all right, but to me it's like the difference of the A's with the green and then the Kelly green.
Yep, you're right.
Something about that.
The last 2 nights they've worn the Kelly green, and I like it.
It's so much better, and it's just I can't explain it. I don't know what the exact reason. It's just one of those simple, like, hey man, like you put on some powder blue jerseys, I'm gonna like them. Sorry, I'm a simple man.
I'll tell you how much things change. I can remember, speaking of the A's, early 70s, they started wearing like white pants and green tops.
Okay.
And no one else was doing that.
Yeah.
And my parents were like really traditional baseball fans. And I remember my mom saying, they're like softball uniforms. This isn't softball.
Well, would it have to be solid color, or would it be gray pants maybe? Oh, okay.
Yeah. No one had like a color jersey and white pants except softball teams. And the A's were one of the first, if not the first. And now they wear them.
That's great.
I think the Cubs had them on today.
That's the best way of doing it.
Yeah, but at that time, it was like, what is that? So, sometimes
back in my I still feel very back in my day when I say, back the NBA home teams wore white and then the road teams wore black or the colored, and it's just that simple. And now we got the 2 teams can be wearing the same color or same tints of the same color in an NBA game. It's just I feel myself aging day by day.
I thought I had adjusted to that,
where
NBA teams, road teams wear white, but every so often I'm watching the game and I realize I'm like, oh, wait, where are they playing?
Yeah.
It still gets me.
No, and I think they've incorporated it a little bit into football as well. From my recollection in the early 2000s, when I would watch football, the Cowboys were the only ones who would wear white at home and then road colored. And it feels like now some teams have just kind of gone the NBA route of, hey, we can wear any color this week. And so kind of stay on your toes. I don't know. I mean, I'm a big jersey fan. I have in my closet a good collection of them, but it to me is, these days, these kids, they've lost the plot.
Well, you can't keep up, right? If you were going to buy all, especially there are some teams you couldn't even buy all of your team's jerseys sometimes be too
there's like 4 or 5 different versions
depending on the team.
Yeah, God forbid your team plays on Christmas and gets a special Christmas edition jersey. And the Kings, I guess in a weird way, thankfully haven't been fortunate enough to get a lot of those specialty uniforms, but even then it's just a nightmare. There's at least 2 new jerseys.
I mean, the NBA has 4 jerseys per team. It's the way that they do it. It's the icon association, the statement, and then we have to wait always for the city edition jersey. So you have those 4 as your staple jerseys in the rotation, and you go from there.
Have you ever gotten jersey assurance?
No, but I've heard about it, and I think it's a great concept.
I don't know that they have it. They don't push it as much as they used to.
They don't. No, it used to be a big,
So you buy a jersey, and if that player gets traded, you get a refund or a new jersey or something.
I wonder what the how long that warranty lasts for, though.
Yeah,
is it like an immediate thing? Like Michael Parsons. Could you have bought a Michael Parsons jersey as a rookie, and then I don't know why you would want to trade it in for a Packers version of it, but or is it just?
I'm not thinking more Kenny Clark.
Right, of course. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting about Kenny Clark. The forgotten piece of all, the Anthony Davis of the trade.
Yes. On the Chateau here in the Chateau, people watching on YouTube, some nice comments on Chris Watkins being part of the show today. Okay. Kevin says, big ups for my nephew, Chris Watkins, looking good. Compio says, Watkins, king of fantasy football. Sounds like it.
Well, it's been a while since I've won, but I am the Silver Surfer of fantasy football. I always find a way to finish second. I don't, for better or worse. I tend to do well, but it's never how I always wanted it to be. I started playing fantasy football way too young. The first year I think I played was 2001, so I was probably 6. I just remember I had all of the Carolina. I had Stephen Davis, Deshaun Foster, Jake Delhomme. I won that year. It was the year that the Panthers went to the Super Bowl against the Patriots and eventually lost. Masu Muhammad, Steve Smith,
youngest fantasy football champion in history.
Had to have been. I will gladly wear that. I'll at least say in Northern California for sure.
Yeah,
I would say that's
mighty impressive.
That's a safe staple.
Now, if you were 6, you probably thought this is easy. I'll do this every year, right?
That is how I ended up in the rabbit hole I now currently find myself in. Yeah, is that it's really not that hard. I think the funny thing is in fantasy football, first round you can lose your draft, you can't win your draft. That would be the best advice I would give. And I think Michael kind of said a similar thing when he brought up CMC. It's like there's so many other guys that can produce. Why take somebody who can straight up just lose? It's fantasy is about taking risks, but you also want to manage those risks.
Jerry Reynolds is going to join us top of the hour.
What a guy.
And before we go to break here, I've been meaning to share this. This was in The Athletic today. I know a lot of Kings fans read this piece in The Athletic because there was some information there from the likes of Sam Amick on what's going on with Kuminga. But Sam asked the question, what squad are you the most confused about heading into the season? Marcus Thompson said, I'll go with Sacramento. Kings seem to be aging up while collecting flashy but flawed players. So are the Kings having a confusing offseason, or is it just all in how you look at things? We'll see what Jerry Reynolds thinks of that. Jerry's going to join us when we come back. Watkins and Whitey today. Drive Guy, Sacktown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
We've been talking a lot about football. That means fall is a-coming. It's time to start thinking maybe about your heater. Can your HVAC system get you through the colder months ahead? Last winter, as I've told you, our system collapsed with a heavy sigh. We were very cold. We weren't sure who to call because there's so many places to call. So we called Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating, leesair.com. They were ready to come out. The day we called, they have same-day, next-day service, treated us with respect, and they set us up with a great unit. So why choose Lee's? They offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee, 4.8 stars on Google. They've won awards for that service, and they've spent more than 40 years serving the Valley's HVAC heating and plumbing needs. And you can trust Lee's with installation and repair of your AC, furnace, and water heater, residential and commercial plumbing repair, commercial HVAC services too. Find out more at leesair.com. Check on their mission statement all about serving customers and community. And hey, check on their $99 HVAC tune-up service. Let Lee's take care of you the way they took care of me, treating us like family, setting us up with an HVAC system that has improved our quality of life and the air that we breathe. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating, license number 635355.
High Voltage Live boxing action returns to the venue on September 6th as Uppercut Promotions presents Thunder Showdown with 6 big fights on the bill featuring local lightweight standout Kyle Lockenlally, who enters the ring undefeated. And don't miss a big heavyweight showdown with Chinese heavyweight Junglong Singh and Sacktown's own Vikas Diaw. Thunder Showdown coming September 6th to the venue at Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Tickets available at Ticketmaster. Fight card subject to change.
This is Alan Stiles on Sacktown Sports 1140, and the big deals are rolling in at Folsom Buick's GMC's end of summer sales event. Right now, take home the 2025 Sierra 1500 Crew Cab Denali with $13,500 off MSRP, or lease it for just $699 a month for 24 months with $5,999 due at signing. This is your chance to drive the bold and powerful Sierra 1500 Crew Cab built to stand out on the road. When the summer ends, so do these deals. So don't miss out. Visit FolsomBuick.com today.
Hey, Sacramento homeowners. Imagine the coolest, most comfortable summer in 30 years, leaving air conditioning giants drowning in overstock. That's your golden ticket to massive savings right now at Sierra Pacific. We've forged powerhouse partnerships with the world's top manufacturers. They trust us for flawless installations, unbeatable service, and our massive reach across Sacramento to move their inventory fast. In return, exclusive, jaw-dropping discounts just for you. Upgrade your home with premium systems at rock-bottom prices, installed by the region's elite craftsmen and backed by ironclad warranties and legendary support. Plus, snag huge tax credits and SMUD rebates to slash costs even further. This inventory clearing bonanza won't last. Seize it today. Call Sierra Pacific for your free in-home consultation and discover the perfect system for your ultimate comfort. Dial 916-638-0543 now or head to SierraPacificHome.com. Don't miss out. Your cooler, cozier home awaits.
Sierra Pacific Solar Heating and Air. The guys in the big red trucks.
The Giant Summer Sale is here. Get giant savings on our giant selection only at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save during the Honda Summer Event and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. See all our specials at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140. Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Chris Watkins is in today. When I found out Chris was going to be in, I had texted our next guest, Jerry Reynolds, going to join us in just a moment. I asked him, hey, you want to come on with me and Chris? He's like, of course I do.
No hesitation, ever.
Never.
Ever from Jerry Reynolds.
He may be the biggest Chris Watkins fan.
It was honestly one of the great pleasures of my life last year when he went to the game and we got to talk to him for quite a bit in the pregame, and I was able to give him a hug and everything before the game, and it just I felt like I don't know if he'd like this example, but I felt like it was like when the pretty girl at school will like talk to you, and then it's like all your friends are like, is she really talking to you? And they're like, it's me, like she knows my name. That's a little bit of the just a glimpse of like how Jerry made me feel that day. So always a pleasure to hear Jerry.
Well, we're gonna find out.
I'm sure he would love it. Knowing Jerry, like I know Jerry, we're on a first name basis. So I think he would like it.
Yeah, I always have a hard time introducing him because he's done so many things, but then I just resort to Kings Sacramento basketball icon. Right?
Icon's always the best word for it. It's just all encapsulating. It really, honestly, to his credit, doesn't even do it service. But
why don't you bring him on?
Oh man,
he's ready to go.
There is no way I can. All right. I mean, really, it's the only way to call him is Sacramento Kings icon, the one, the only Mr. Jerry Reynolds joins the program.
How are you, Coach?
I am really good. I'm just better getting a chance to talk to you guys. Of course, Chris is, one of my heroes, which tells you I've really got to move my standards up a little bit.
You got to get those up, Jerry. We'll talk about it someday, but you got to raise those things.
Jerry, I don't know if you heard because you were just coming on there, but Chris said he talked to you before a game last year, and he said you were talking to him, and then afterwards he said everyone was envious of him. He said it was like at high school when the pretty girl talks to you and then everyone says, was she talking to you? That's how he felt when you talked to him before a game last year.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's the way it should be. Of course, but I got to tell you though, Chris, I'm a little concerned that in fantasy, when you hit your peak at 6 years old, I was going to tell Whitey, I said, are you working with Benjamin Button or something?
Let me tell you, a lot of things about life are all downhill from 6. Like, I've never had less responsibility and more fun than when I was 6 years old. So
no, I can't argue that either. I think that might have been my peak as well.
Jerry, before we get into the nuts and bolts of whatever is going on with the Kings, we had something that came up yesterday, and Jay brought some up. We just started talking about the Kings players from the Sacramento era who were the lunch bucket guys, hardest workers, blue-collar players, if you will. I'm just wondering, who are some of the guys that come to mind for you, Sacramento era, the hardest working blue-collar type Kings?
Well, I think I would start with Bobby Jackson was that way.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Domas put right at the top of any list as far as hard-working guys. I think the guy that's currently on the two guys on the coaching staff, Doug Christie and Mike Woodson. Again, so you got 3 of them there.
Mm-hmm.
They brought it every night. I always say that those are the kind of guys that bring it every night. Sometimes they don't play well, but it's never lack of effort.
How about Rooney? How about Sharunas Marshalonis?
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I'll tell you he was a tough buckaroo, that's for sure. But then compared to the all-time tough buckaroo, Ron Artest, there were some good ones there, that's for sure. Kind of a forgotten guy, I think, in a little bit with his great competitive play and spirit was Brian Grant.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so, there's some, there's an awful lot. And then, of course, there's some that probably didn't give 110% every night.
Hey, Jerry, this is Ramsey. I got a couple that I wanted to list off of those players. I was going to say, God rest his soul, Wayman Tisdale, and the big dog, Antoine Carr.
Oh, yeah. Antoine was really an underrated player, too. Had a great career, with Atlanta, and, of course, was very good for us, and then went on to play with the Spurs and had just tremendous. And Tizzy could score on anybody. He put that big butt on them, and they didn't move. I always remember talking to Buck Williams, who was one of the elite defenders in the league for years, and he said, I can guard him. I can't guard Tizzy. He said, he puts that big butt on me. I can't move.
And he had that Tizzy flip, right, with the left hand? Yeah.
Had the Tizzy flip, boy.
Yeah.
And, he'd talk to guys a little bit, he'd talk to them.
Jerry, do you think we overrate, like, as we kind of talk about the tenacity and stuff like that kind of mentality and more so, it seems as we talk about the Kings' interest in Russell Westbrook, like a lot of the interest seems to be more of the intangible stuff, the off the floor, the mentality, the amount of work ethic and what he brings to the games on game day in terms of effort. Is that really something that can be transferred? Obviously, guys can kind of see the work put in and try and replicate it, but I guess more so specifically talking about Russell Westbrook, do you find the value in bringing him into that locker room specifically?
Well, I love Russ and his career. I'm not sure I would be a big fan of it on this team with as long as they've got all the guards they have. But if they were to move a couple of guards to where he would have minutes, I think he could help. But I guess what I would say to that, and I think it's a good point, but I think the key is having a guy like Russ when he was in his prime, because his tenacity and hustle and work ethic, that's when it carries over, is when your best players are like that.
Mm-hmm.
And Russ isn't that player anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, not today, he just hasn't been for a number of years. But I think we all remember him when, he was just not only fierce, but scared about half the guards in the league to death.
Speaking of the guard situation, and of course, Jerry Reynolds is with us. There's been a lot of stories coming out this week, and of course, you don't know exactly what's true, but first there was a report Kings are trying very hard to trade Malik. Then it came out, no, they're not looking so much at that. They might trade Devin Carter. I don't like the idea of trading Devin Carter before you know what he is. And also, if you traded him, you would still have that minutes crunch. You'd have Malik, and you'd have Russ, presuming this is all to bring in Russ. But then there's still a problem with the minutes. They both need a lot of minutes, or else there's no reason to have them on the team, right?
Yeah, that's kind of the issue I see it. Just where does everybody play? How much do they play? It really is making it tough for the coaching staff, I think. But and the thing with Carter, and I was disappointed a little bit in this summer, but it's really still his first summer league. He didn't get to play last year, and he's one of those guys that does guard you and really does work hard at his game. And I'm a little bit like you. I'd like to know more. Because I felt they gave up too soon on Davion Mitchell, and I think that's kind of proven to be the case in Miami. But with young players, the idea of drafting them is for them to get better as they get older, and ask the Clippers how they feel about moving Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Not good. Not good.
Not good at all. Not good at all. Jerry, I'm curious too. Specifically, why do you just kind of focused on Malik? But when I look at the guard rotation, I see Keon Ellis being the one who really is boxed out of minutes. You got Dennis Schroeder, Zach LaVine, Malik Monk, Neek Clifford, I think is going to steal some minutes at a guard position. And then you throw Russell Westbrook in there potentially. Where do you kind of see Keon's role day one, even just with the logjam? It feels like it's going to be tough for Keon to see minutes.
Here, I'll be honest with you. Here's how I see his role. On the floor. Get him on the damn floor. Play him a lot of minutes. And I think you've got to find 20 minutes. You just find 20 minutes for Neek Clifford. Mm-hmm. You get him 10 minutes a half. I don't care who don't. At some point somebody's going to get your feelings hurt, and the sooner. And it's a tough thing for Coach Christie, but the sooner you get to it, you like I say, it ain't little league. Everybody don't get play 3 innings. They're highly paid professional players, and you can say, whatever pouting you need to do, get it done. And let's get started.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But I just think Keon needs to be on the floor. You've got, because he can defend and he can make open threes and will take open threes, and he's a ball mover on a team with guys who aren't ball movers.
Mm-hmm.
So he would fit with any group just about, where I think some of the others, it just creates actually more problems than it solves.
Jerry, I wanted to ask you about a specific player and how he may relate to the Kings' overall philosophy and what that should be. A report came out this week that Dallas has a guy that the Kings technically drafted. They drafted him for Dallas, Olivier Maxence Prosper. And Dallas is trying to clear a roster spot to bring in Dante Exum. So they're trying, according to the report, they're actively trying to trade him. Now, I know he hasn't played well, but he's 6'8". He came out of college with a reputation as being a defender. To me, the Kings are a team that they need some depth in the front court. I would be very interested in taking a flyer on a guy like that. And I know he's not going to help me this year much. He might not help me at all, but he might be one of those diamonds in the rough. But it speaks to where the Kings are. Are they a team that, as I would like them to be, is interested in players like that? Maybe you hit on a diamond in the rough. Or are they a team that's like, no, we're trying to win now. We can't afford that type of player. Where do you think they should be on a player like that?
Well, I think they should be looking at young, long wings. I do.
Mm-hmm.
Whether if that's the best guy. I don't know enough about him to make a legitimate comment on whether he's a good risk or not, but you're going to have to take some chances, I think. And I mean, to me, it's a little bit like the Keon Ellis and Isaac Jones. I think they spotted a couple of good young players and developed them. And I think, clearly Keon's ready to play, and I think Isaac is too. And, but that's, when to me, that's how you really do get better. That kind of jumps the line when you can find guys who are ready to be good. I mean, I use the Indiana Pacers, I think, a great example of picking guys when other teams kind of gave up on them. In other words, obviously the Kings traded Halliburton and got a terrific player in return, but Obi Toppin and Naismith, all three of those guys were lottery picks in that draft, and the Pacers drafted none of them.
Yeah,
and they got them. Certainly nobody's too surprised about Tyrese, but the other two were kind of given up on by their teams that drafted them. And so, it's a long way of answering your question, but man, there's guys out there that are, give them time, and they're ready to be players. And of course, the Kings have on their coaching staff two of the ultimate examples, Bobby Jackson and Doug Christie. Basically they became terrific players with the Kings after being with 3 or 4 teams where they weren't.
There you go.
Jerry, I'm curious. You just kind of mentioned Indy there, and I was thinking the other day about them and maybe some similarities that they'll have with this year's Kings team, more specifically about the guards that they're going to roll out. I mean, just off the top of my head, Indy last year in the playoffs was running out Halliburton, TJ McConnell, Ben Shepherd, Neesmith, Nembhard, and Ben Mathurin. Feels like the Kings are going to be similar with, Schroeder and Monk and Levine and DeRozan and Keon Ellis and all those guys. Just in general, what are some of the benefits if we are going to run a smaller lineup? What would be some of the benefits that the Kings could lean into if they're going to have a guard-heavy rotation?
Well, you better. You really hit on, Chris. I mean, look at Indiana. What did they do? How did they do it? They played at a tremendous pace offensively and defensively. Picked up, pressed. Tried to get the game strung out. So size. Where size is an advantage is close to the basket. Being 6'5" in the middle of the floor against a guy at 6'2" really isn't much of an advantage. So what they did was just simply, okay, we're going to make you play 94 feet for 48 minutes. And we got more guards, that allows us to play more guards. And so I don't know, but to me, there again, that was Rick Carlisle. I just thought it was the most amazing coaching job, because if there had ever been a coach, and he was certainly a Hall of Fame coach before, but he called every play for 20 years of his coaching career, and he just basically turned them loose and said, only thing I'm asking you to do is bust your hump, for every minute and every second you're on the floor, offensively and defensively, and guard all 94 feet.
Jerry, I know it's kind of changed, and Rick Carlisle's a great example of that, but you as a coach in the NBA, how did you know when to call a play, when to let them sort things out for themselves?
Well, I wasn't really smart enough most of the time, but because sometimes the plays I called, they didn't run. So,
so what difference did it make, right?
Yeah. I always remember Scotty Skiles once when he was a point guard for Orlando, and he was a terrific player, smart, and everything. I'd known him a long time, and he sidled up to me. He said, on that number 3 you called there, said, Rodney McRae not doing it right. And I said, yeah, he messed. I said, Scott, why don't you tell him how to run that? He said, okay, I will. So sometimes, you got to have communication, fellas.
Yeah.
That's what they say, communication.
Did he tell Rodney that he was running it wrong? Did Rodney ever get the message?
Yeah, he did. Rodney respected him, and it's like, you wouldn't listen to me. You listen to Scott.
Yeah. Well, that's what Mike Brown would talk about all the time, right? It's like you can only listen to the coach for so
That's right.
long, and it's got to come from within at some point because those are the only ones that they're actually going to listen to.
Comes from the other team.
Sometimes it comes from the other team.
I've said so many times too. It's like people say, like in timeouts. I said one thing I learned in timeouts is everything you say it twice, because there's always somebody ain't paying attention. And I should have learned. I actually learned that from Dean Smith. Told me that.
Really?
He said that's one thing. In timeout, always say everything twice.
Wow.
And that way, only about one guy won't get it.
Or one guy will get it, because sometimes you look in those huddles and guys, I don't know what they're looking at, the scoreboard, the cheerleaders, something.
Yeah, it's worse now, honestly, I believe, than in my era. I really do. I think that, of course, there's less actual structured plays to be run, things of that nature. So, I've always said the thing I always get a kick out of is now, in coaching at timeouts, you have a committee meeting out at the free throw line.
Yes.
And players kind of talk to one another. Then the committee breaks up. They go back to the huddle, and it's time for the game to start.
Yeah. They never end up talking to players.
And I'm not at all sure that wasn't a better way. I probably should have just went out and just, I didn't have one assistant. We could have just visited amongst ourselves.
Yeah, you're coaching your coaches how to coach. That's what you do in those meetings, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was the old Bear Bryant statement. One of the reasons he said he retired, he said, I really didn't know hardly half the players, and it's tough for me to even know the coaches, and all I was doing was coaching coaches.
It's like you mentioned those meetings, and the timeout's not that long, and then the coaches have their little meeting, and it's like, you better hurry up. There's not that much time left to tell the players what you want them to do, Jerry.
I know. That's what I was thinking about it. I certainly took my time. I told them what to do. I can't say it was real successful, but we certainly, they can't say that I didn't tell them what I wanted them to do, and of course, many times I knew they really weren't capable of it anyway.
But you got to try.
You got to try.
Jerry, you're killing me over here. Jerry, at this point in the off season, it's trades are done, free agency's done. What really is like Doug Christie doing right now? Him and his coaching staff. Are you just kind of getting ready for the season? Are you nervous? Are you excited? Do you feel like at this point in the off season, you would have a good sense of like a real gauge of how good your team is, like, or every year is it, oh, this is going to be the year. And then you just kind of, slowly or quickly learn it's not going to be.
Well, I think at this time of year, there's no reason not to be optimistic to a degree. And I think I would think if I were this stage of the year, there's nothing they really can do. I wouldn't spend too much time on it, but in another week or two, another week after Labor Day, which is coming up. But and start getting focused on what you think would be the best offensive plan, the best defensive plan, some of your best lineups, and knowing all that. Once you get into preseason, you're going to say, "Whoop, that didn't work. That lineup's not what I thought it'd be, or this one might be better." But the reality is, every team, and I think you just by nature, you're expecting to be better than people think you're going to be. Mm-hmm. I've always said, it's really true. People think I'm lying, but I was, we might be playing the Lakers or the Celtics, back in the day, and by the time the game started, I thought we'd beat them.
Mm-hmm.
I really did. Now I know that. Looking, by the end of the game or by halftime, I'd say, "What the hell are you thinking? How could you be that optimistic?" But that's what I think you have to be like that. If you start off thinking, "Boy, we can't beat these guys. They're way better than us," and it may be true, but you just can't. You can't allow yourself to think like that. Make them prove they're better.
Mm-hmm. Before we let you go, how many wins for your Chiefs? How optimistic are you about your Chiefs this year?
I'm extremely optimistic. I've been watching Kingdom on ESPN. I'm sure Kyle's probably watching a lot too.
That's why he's not here today.
Yeah.
Catch up.
But I think I kind of think they'll be 13-4. I think they're going to lose a few more, but I think they're going to be better.
Mm-hmm.
Their schedule's tougher, but they're going to be good. Will they win a Super? I don't know, but they'll be one of the 4 or 5 teams good enough.
Mm-hmm. There you
And
go.
that's what you're striving for. And if as long as Mahomes is upright, and they got Andy Reid, I think they're a formidable team. That's for sure. And now that Travis is, he and
that's right.
the love affair is starting to get so he can focus on football again. And so
I saw
by the
somebody.
way, I watched. I did watch a little snippet of the Kelsey's podcast with Taylor Swift, and I have to say, she is delightful. She's just absolutely delightful. Just delightful, fellas.
I heard somebody say, or I saw somebody say that with the engagement rings now, Kelsey finally got a ring without the officials helping him get it. How about that, Jared?
Oh boy, see how you are, Whitey. See, you had to go there, didn't you? Yeah. We appreciate you. Yeah. Hey, it's like I was watching the Cowboys thing on Netflix, and I just like they went through the same thing. It's like when they were back in the day with Aikman and those guys, and Jimmy Johnson. They get all the calls. Or the Cowboys. Well, it's been 30 years. How many calls they get these days?
Thank you, Coach. We appreciate it very much.
Enjoyed you guys, and certainly, I'm pretty sure, is Kyle at the Eagles camp? Is that where he's at?
Probably.
Yeah.
Either
Either
assuming.
that or watching Kingdom.
That's what we're assuming. So.
Well, all right. Well, you guys have a good weekend, and Chris, the U.S. Open's on. Of course, there's some pickleball if you want to watch it too periodically.
No, thank you. I will watch the tennis U.S. Open for sure, but pickleball, no thanks.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad to hear that.
Thank you,
I'm
Jerry.
proud of you.
Yes.
Okay, see you guys.
Absolutely.
Going on with Jerry Reynolds.
Please cut that saying he's proud of me, please. I'd like to make that my ringtone.
Yeah. Well, you guys have a history. You're both anti-pickleball.
Anti-pickleball, yeah. Jerry knows. It's only gotten worse too. The pickleball people.
Oh, it continues to grow and grow.
It is
like a fungus or something.
It is the true pandemic that is hitting this country.
I would like to play
this planet.
I would like to play. I still think, and I know I'm wrong, but in my mind, I think
it's easy.
It's so easy.
There's no way.
I would never lose.
It feels like one of those things you can even swing as hard as you can, and even then, it'll probably still land in bounds.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't get it. I don't get it. Just play tennis, people. Play tennis.
The latest on Kuminga is, believe it or not, it's not that much, but we'll look at what is there when we come right back. It's Chris Watkins in today, Drive Guy, Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Future Ford.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Clear skies overnight tonight with temperatures gradually cooling off. We'll drop off into the lower 60s by Friday morning, and then daytime highs pushing into the mid to upper 90s under sunny skies and light winds. Get the latest forecasts on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
It's the final days of Summer Closeout 25 at your Future Ford dealers. Get closeout pricing on F-150, Bronco, Explorer, Mach-E, and more. But don't wait. It all ends Monday at Future Ford Lincoln in the Roseville Auto Mall and Future Ford of Sacramento at I-80 in Madison.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey, everybody, it's Carmichael Dave. Labor Day is almost upon us. Can you believe it? And you can relax in style without breaking the bank. Why? Because it's the Labor Day sale at Amy's Outdoor Living. You can save from 40 to 70% on premium patio sets, colorful umbrellas, new cushions, beautiful and useful fire pits, and much more. And right now is the time to beat those tariffs and save your hard-earned money on most of their top name brands. Turn your backyard into a resort style retreat. Hurry in to save 40 to 70% off your new backyard, because guess what? These savings will not last long. Amy's Outdoor Living, used to go there with my dad as a little kid. That's how long they've been around. And now they have 2 locations on El Camino near Watt. That's the one I grew up going to. And the El Dorado Town Center. It's beautiful there. Amy's Outdoor Living, where your outdoor living begins.
I'm with Vince Bloom, General Manager and Big Guy at Folsom Lake Dodge.
I think you mean the summer deal guy.
Vince, the summer deal guy. And why's that, Vince?
Because summertime means the deals are heating up at Folsom Lake Dodge. I'm talking hot deals you don't want to miss.
I know what you mean. During the Make This the Summer event at Folsom Lake Dodge, I see you can save over $15,000 off a new 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4. Over $15,000.
But that's not the only summer deal at Folsom Lake Dodge.
Far from it. I see the summer deal guy is also offering deals on all their Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles.
I am.
Hot summer deals on everything? This really is the summer.
Exactly.
Save over $15,000 off a new 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4. At Folsom Lake Dodge.
In the Folsom Auto Mall and online at FolsomLakeDodge.com.
Discount includes 1,000 West BC SFS retail bonus cash, 1,000 West BC SFS bonus cash, national snackable 20% below MSRP, retail discount $59.91. One at this net discount. Sample VIN SN 772855 expires 9/2/25.
Alan Stiles here with your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by DTLA Law Group. Luis Severino, out with that left oblique strain, has resumed playing catch, and his expected return is late August. Grant Holman, out with that strained right middle finger, expected return is TBD, but he has started gripping drills and is building toward a throwing progression. Hopefully, he'll be back soon. That was your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Hey, I'm Alan Stiles. Injured at work? Call Downtown. DTLA Law Group, California's leading injury law firm. With over 40 lawyers throughout California, they have won over $500 million in settlements. DTLA Law Group will get you compensation for your work injury. You don't pay unless they win. That's right. You pay zero up front. Call Downtown. Text Injury Help to 40222. That's Injury Help to 40222. Visit them at calldowntown.com. Text charges may apply.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Avery Anna. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with RVs of Sacramento and the Sled Museum of Science and Curiosity. Tickets at CITPFest.com.
Live and local, it's The Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Chris Watkins is with us today. We have a pickleball question for you, Chris.
Oh, no.
On the text line, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. From the 209, Chris, did you guys play pickleball in high school?
Yes.
I think we're about the same age. I remember when I first got introduced to high school, they had to play pickleball. At that time, I'd never heard of it.
Yep.
That was about 2012, 2013.
That's about right. We definitely had to play it in high school. I feel like I might have even played it in elementary school. It's like a perfect, PE kind of game. You just, set up the little, badminton net or whatever. And, it's just like Foursquare. That's honestly what it is. It's more like Foursquare than anything else. And I think that's the problem is it's just a little bit too simple. And we used to have to play it in PE. And even then it's fun. I mean, I will not deny that it's not fun, but it definitely feels like a game for children, which is fine. So is Monopoly, and I don't play Monopoly.
Quick update here from KCRA 3. The future of Cal Expo's grandstand will include Sacramento State football games after the approval of a new stadium project, according to Mike Tassell. Under the new business portion of today's agenda, Cal Expo Board were scheduled to consider review for approval agreement to memorialize activities for the Sac State football stadium, end quote.
Those are a lot of buzzwords.
the board has agreed to move forward with the project. I'm no expert, but I think agreeing to that is there's still a bit of work that needs to be done before you're playing football there, but it's a positive thing. Let's see.
I say this with all due respect. This stadium situation has been a little bit of a mess to try and keep up with because there was a lot of their initial reports, of course, were that they were building the stadium on campus. There was all the renderings that came out, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, really, these Cal Expo rumors popped out of nowhere. And I'm still not 100% clear yet as if this is an alternate option, or as in more so as in there are multiple options, or is this right now the primary focus? Because just as a generality, I don't know how I feel about Sac State moving off of campus for their football games. I don't necessarily know if that's necessary. I think they have the space on campus.
Yeah, it's a good question. My sense of it is, based on this, this is now
the plan
A
forward. Interesting. Yeah. Very interesting. I mean, I think that when the initial Cal Expo rumors first popped up, it was the morning of the Sac Republic groundbreaking over at the rail yards. And as I was driving back to the station here, I kind of did have the thought of it being an interesting layout for Sacramento in general. It's downtown to have within a 5 to 10 minute drive. If you take the 160, it's you have Golden One Center. You then will have the rail yards arena, and then you will have a Sac State football stadium within a couple miles away. Like I do think there is something to be said about it, Sacramento talking about themselves as a sports hub. If you have 3 stadiums, and I'm not even including Rayleigh Field, or I'm sorry, Sutter Health Park in that as well, you get four professional stadiums in a 5-10 mile radius.
Yeah. So again, today, what we have, according to KCRA3, the Cal Expo board, they have agreed to move forward with this project of converting Cal Expo's grandstand into an area that would include Sac State football games.
And you said that's the grandstand as well. So that it's because that was another question that I had, is if it was going to be obviously Sac Republic leaving their stadium at Cal Expo, would they just, obviously the bleachers still there, the field is there, it would probably be easiest to just plug and play at that location. So interesting that they're obviously a ton more room at the racetrack, but very interesting that they're choosing that space instead.
Yeah, and just to review, and you made this point already, last October, Sac State released some renderings of what the university hoped would be a new on-campus stadium that would seat 25,000, but those discussions have transitioned into this current proposal to play football games near the grandstand that are discussed between Cal Expo and Sac State, and today they voted to go forward with the project. So yeah, you get a stadium and you get a stadium.
Yeah, right. Very interesting. I mean, everything that's going on with Sac State athletics right now is top story in Sacramento, in my opinion, just based off of local interest, just between their basketball and their football programs. These past couple weeks, I got to travel with Jason Ross to Sac State's football headquarters, I guess you can call it. He did a ton of interviews for Stingers Up podcast. Definitely go check that out over on our YouTube page. Doing some really cool stuff over there. But yeah, it is incredible what they're doing at Sac State. The amount of turnover that they've had in their athletics department, basketball, football, is unheard of almost. And, this is definitely a step towards them building what they want to. I still am a little bit pessimistic, I guess, on if all of this is going to shake out how they're laying it out. But I think it's really cool that Sac State is making this athletic push to try and give some sort of identity to the school. I just hope that, they're not all in. I've heard that there's a lot of stuff that's going on at Sac State. I just hope that they don't go too all in on their athletics program.
Overextend themselves. Yeah.
Exactly.
So we got the Golden One, of course. We've got the rail yards, soccer stadium, Sac Republic plan. We've got this plan. There's also a lot of discussion. Not a lot of it has been public yet, but there's been discussions about the baseball stadium,
right?
Because there are efforts underway to try to land an expansion team here.
Yeah, I heard at Hard Rock, right? I believe at the Hard Rock out in Wheatland, they're trying to build a stadium.
Yeah, that was discussed earlier, but I don't think that's going to fly.
It wouldn't make a lot of sense.
Just because of the access and how far away it is.
Highway, yeah.
But what I'm hearing on potential Sac Stadium sites, and again, what I heard was end of this year, there's a very good chance there's going to be an environmental impact study on a new stadium here. And then next year, the plan is to announce 3 sites for the new baseball stadium. My understanding is, as of right now, the leading sites would be West Sac, which is somewhere around where the ballpark is now, Rail Yards, and Elk Grove.
Really?
So there's some skepticism that will fly, but that's one of the sites they're looking at for the new baseball stadium. You got to have a plan if you're going to entice MLB to even look at you as an expansion city. You got to have, this is our plan for a stadium.
I will say I don't hate any of those options. Obviously, West Sac, we already know that as an option. We know what that can provide. The Rail Yards is interesting spatially. Obviously, there's tons of room, but with the soccer stadium being built out, I don't quite know exactly how that'll work.
Is there any way to do a combo platter thing? I don't know that anyone is interested in that. I don't know.
Right. And also, the baseball is not a done deal here either. Like, how much of it will be, okay, we will build a permanent baseball stadium versus, as we've seen in the past, it can be converted into a baseball stadium if needed. The Elk Grove is definitely an interesting wrinkle. I don't hate it. I grew up near, I guess you could call it Elk Grove. It needs something out there like that for that community. I think Elk Grove is obviously a Sacramento suburb, but it has its own heartbeat out there. And I think it would be there's tons of land out there. You see Sky River is built out in Elk Grove. That's done amazingly well. There's tons of unused land out in that area as well. I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, obviously there's like the Foxborough, New England, stadium where that's a little bit more in a residential area than a downtown area.
West Sac, I think, would be cool. And I was thinking, wait a minute, the team's got to play there. But if you're getting an expansion team, there is an announcement that you get a team, and then it's not like it happens the next year.
Right. Yeah.
So you would have time, I would think, and the A's are part of it too. Are they gone by now? Are they in Vegas? You'd have time to refurbish, or you'd have to pretty much tear down the stadium now, but you could still build on that site.
Yeah. And I think you were the one last season that was kind of putting me on notice of some of the, I guess you can call it imperfections that were kind of just naturally built into that ballpark, right? Where there was a lot of questions on how much you could expand.
The initial plan, and my understanding is their hope was, we'll build the stadium, we'll make it such that if we ever get a major league team, we'll add the second deck. But there were weather concerns. They had to hurry up and finish the stadium because they had a deadline. The season was going to start, and they weren't able to build the stadium the way they'd hoped to.
From a foundational standpoint.
It's not an option now to go in and add a second deck.
You'd have to completely gut it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's where it becomes a little bit, yes, the land is already tilled or whatever, the space is already there. So I guess that's the benefit to it. But
it's a nice
if you
site.
have that, that becomes the question is, if you are going to restart this thing, would you pick it there because it was already there, or are you picking it there because it's truly the best option? And I just don't know. I mean, I would have to ask somebody who lives off of Jefferson how much, the A's traffic has really affected
then
there.
You got the politics too, because that's West Sac.
Yes, exactly.
That's not Sacramento. The city's going to work together, which they have, but it's just a little more involved.
A little less imperfect.
Yeah, but all of a sudden, stadium.
Yeah. I mean, it's incredible. And it's happened so quickly. And, I hope obviously we're a little bit in the higher percentage of Sacramento sports fans, but I think in general, like we've seen, Golden One Center had a lot of people who pushed up against it and didn't want it to be built and said, I don't care about sports. I don't care about any of this stuff. Like what is a downtown building going to provide for me and my family? Well, we've seen, you might not like the Kings, but I bet you like Disney on Ice. You might like Monster Jam. You might like Echo and Rig. There's just so many other things that come with the stadium being built. There's obviously like just what it does for you as a city and the notoriety, but just the life that it's breathed into downtown. You could talk about that with an Elk Grove. Again, like Elk Grove doesn't really have a thing to do. You put a baseball stadium there, you're getting people to move there all of a sudden. You're getting family. It just becomes a much more attractive destination. It expands Sacramento's, people obviously already think about Elk Grove as Sacramento, but it kind of expands Sacramento's reach a little bit. I just think it would do so much. I think all of it, the soccer stadium, even, the fact that the soccer stadium is going to connect to Golden One Center, you're going to have almost like a true strip, a version of I've always thought West or Old Sac could turn into a gas lamp district, much like they have in San Diego.
Yeah.
I just think there's so much potential that a stadium can bring your nightlife, your entertainment life, that we saw Sacramento get a big bump in the near COVID range. And then obviously that kind of stopped it, or at least brought it to a little bit of a halt. I would love to see stadiums really be the foundation of helping this city grow.
We are back with the latest, such as it is, on Kuminga and the Kings next. Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Future Ford.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Clear skies overnight tonight with temperatures gradually cooling off. We'll drop off into the lower 60s by Friday morning, and then daytime highs pushing into the mid to upper 90s under sunny skies and light winds. Get the latest forecasts on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
It's the final days of Summer Closeout 25 at your Future Ford dealers. Get closeout pricing on F-150, Bronco, Explorer, Mach-E, and more. But don't wait. It all ends Monday at Future Ford Lincoln in the Roseville Auto Mall and Future Ford of Sacramento at I-80 in Madison.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed the musty smell in your home? I hope not, because damp smells mean that you could have a crawl space problem. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your crawl space and get to the root cause of the problem. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It's the energy all around you.
Lightning and the thunder.
The thrill of the moments to come. The flash of lights. The rush of pure exhilaration.
Thunder.
The roar of the crowd. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-838-6767. That's 800-838-6767.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Plus free premium delivery with any smart bed and adjustable base. Ends Labor Day. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today. Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Plus free premium delivery with any smart bed and adjustable base. Ends Labor Day. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your priceless vinyl collection. Sure, you sleep on a futon because the money most people would have spent on a bed you spent on more records. But forget the fact that you can stream just about any song ever created for a few dollars a month. No, you need to listen to music in the most difficult way possible. So go ahead and get Progressive so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what's happening for the Make This the Summer Sales event?
Right now, save up to $15,000 off MSRP on new 2025 Ram 1500 Crew Cabs. The Motor Trend 2025 Truck of the Year.
Okay, but what about those hard-to-find heavy duties?
Right now, save up to $11,000 off MSRP on the hard-to-find brand new 2025 Ram Heavy Duties. You won't find a better selection of new Rams in California, with over 400 new Rams available and more on the way.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Nobody beats Hoblet period.
15,000 total net savings on select new 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorns after 83.16 factory rebates and 66.84 dealer discounts. Rebates include 10% below MSRP. 2,000 Stellantis financial bonus cash. Must finance with Stellantis. 500 on the job upfit. Must show eligible upfit. 11,000 total net savings on select new 2025 Ram 2500 Limited after 2,500 factory rebates and 8,500 dealer discount. Rebates include 500 on the job upfit. Must show eligible upfit. At least 5 of each net savings. Not everyone will qualify for all rebates. See dealer for details.
Sacramento, are you ready for live entertainment? The Sacktown Sports Live Events calendar is packed with the biggest shows. Catch country star Megan Maroney September 20th at Lake Tahoe Amphitheater at Caesars Republic. Then, don't miss the Doco Block Party Sunday, September 28th from noon to 4. Free fun for the whole family. Games, live music, kids activities, photo ops, and special offers from Doco merchants. October heats up with Heat Sweat, October 5th at Hard Rock Live Sacramento. Country fans, David Nail plays Goldfield October 9th. The same night, comedian king Bert Kreischer takes the stage at Thunder Valley. Then it's Justin Moore October 16th at Hard Rock Live, followed by hilarious comic Jimmy Carr on October 17th. November brings big laughs with Trevor Noah November 9th at Thunder Valley. And check out the Isley Brothers November 14th at Hard Rock Live Sacramento. Don't miss a moment. Get tickets now and see the full lineup at sacktownsports.com.
Stingers up is what we reppin'. Throw that pinky in the sky when you steppin'. Stingers up is what we reppin'.
Hey, Juice, let me know, sir.
They don't want the smoke when we playing them. You can catch me going dumb in the stadium. We see you making rules, but we breaking them. If you ain't built for the city, we ain't taking them. You know it's green and gold for the flex. You know we never fall with a test. We throw the best parties on the west. I'm about to throw a party in the nest.
The Tribe Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
It's an update if there's really no information that's new to update you with. That's what we've been dealing with the Jonathan Kuminga Warriors Kings saga. Sam Amick and others wrote in The Athletic today about the situation, which is basically where it's been a stare down between the Warriors and Kuminga. You won't take the qualifying offer. Yes, I will take the qualifying offer. And then, at some point, somebody's going to have to blink. The Warriors don't want him to take the qualifying offer because they want to pay him so they can trade him and also create that salary slot. And the Kings, of course, are just waiting to see if he becomes available. This is what Marcus Thompson said. I have to believe Kuminga blinks first. It sounds good to say he'll sign the qualifying offer, but actually taking $14 million less than the deal on the table seems harder to execute. I know Kuminga to be principled, but that's a lot of money to pass up in the name of principle. I understand the reasons why he doesn't want to take the team-friendly deal, but if you're getting the short end of the stick either way, you may as well get the $14 million extra on the table, which would mean that Marcus Thompson believes he signs, comes to agreement, comes to terms with the Warriors. Then does he get traded to the Kings? I don't know.
Yeah, that's definitely the interesting part of this is just like which path is Kuminga going to take. It feels like it is going to end up more likely than not with Kuminga on a different team. But to me, yeah, which contract he decides to sign is I won't say fascinating, but it's a really interesting practice of really what is going on with like basketball contracts. Like it's just so it really highlights how complicated all this stuff, it was tough enough trying to explain to people like restricted free agency. And now I have to explain why Jonathan Kuminga has a qualifying offer, but still has some leverage, but really doesn't have any leverage. I don't know. I mean, part of me says take the money, figure the rest out later. That's kind of been what seemingly is, the Bradley Beal thing. It's just, hey, you have a contract in front of you. The team can change. Your contract will not. And so lock yourself into the money if you like it, and then have your agent figure out your situation, and you'll be double happy. That's the route that does seem to make the most sense. But
what would you do if it were you, if you were Jonathan Kuminga? Because to me, everything I've read and just, observed with him, I wouldn't be surprised if he says, I am going to take the qualifying offer and then 1 year and I'm done. And then maybe that forces their hand and they're like, okay, well, we're going to trade you because we want to get something for you. I would not be surprised if he did that. But what would you do if you were him?
It's a very rare situation where I think you actually do need to, if you're his agent, it's like almost a fatherly, I guess, conversation where you need to say, what do you truly, like at the end of the day, what do you want? And if you really don't want to play for the Warriors, then we will take the less money. We will make sure that you, by no circumstance, will be on their team at least after this season, and we can figure it out from there.
And if we tell them that and we mean that, there's a good chance we won't have to go back there even this year.
Exactly, 100%. But obviously the bad side of that is, okay, they listen to you. Well, then now you're on a 1-year deal with the Kings, and let's say, okay, obviously you can play yourself into a better contract, but things can happen. You can get injured. We end up in a worse conversation from a contract perspective from your side of things next offseason. So I feel like I would tell him to, if you really, really, really want to force the Warriors' hand, I think taking the qualifying offer is a real sign that you yourself mean business as well. It's not about the money, and it is truly about creating as much flexibility for yourself as possible.
Which might force them to go, all right, we're going to trade you. But if they say, all right, fine, then you're stuck there perhaps for the whole year for $7.9 million when you could add a lot more than that.
And I think the interesting thing is, too, he could end up hurting himself in that negotiation, in the trade negotiations, by taking the qualifying offer, because then he, like you just pointed out, is on a $7 million contract instead of I think it would be I can't remember what the Warriors offer was, but
20 something.
It would be something like that, to where it's just a different caliber of player that you can get in return, right? It's all about
the slot.
The other side getting to that salary number. Obviously, if Kuminga signs at that $9 million number, the Kings can say, well, look, Malik Monk, I think, makes $18 million. Like, salary wise, we can't do it. And so it's going to affect the return that Golden State can get if Kuminga takes that offer. And so
my guess
again
would be,
where it's just a weird push pull of who really has the power in the conversation.
My guess would be, if he says, I'm signing that, they might say, all right, never mind. We will sign you to something else so we can trade you. That way you get the money, you get to go where you want, and we get the salary slot. So he might never have to actually sign it. But if you're him, obviously you don't know how they're going to play it.
It's a mess.
Meanwhile, I mentioned this earlier. This is one of the questions they talked about in this piece in The Athletic. What squad are you the most confused about heading into the season? Marcus Thompson says, I'm perennially confused by what Chicago is doing. But as I mentioned earlier, he said, I'll go with Sacramento. The Kings seem to be aging up while collecting flashy but flawed players. Check out this backcourt. DeRozan, Levine, Schroeder, Monk, Ellis, Carter. These are interesting players for a team that's close, but the Kings aren't close. Sabonis is the only quality big man on the roster. He's not a center. Maxime Reynaud is intriguing, but they will need him. Remember when Keegan was a potential budding star? Kings keep adding players who only de-emphasize him, which one of those guards is deferring to Murray? It's hard to see what the vision is with Sacramento, which is disappointing because 2 years ago, it was so much fun when they were on the come up. End quote. You buy that? You see it that way?
Yeah, I do. I really do. I think Marcus Thompson hit it on the nose there. I mean, I think everything he said there is true. I haven't really thought about how their additions have actually devalued Keegan. I think we just kind of think of it more as like, Keegan's just being asked to do a ton, and it has raised his value for sure because it shows how versatile and how just well he's picked up the defensive end along with his offensive game. But I think the bigger point is, and I've said it a ton of times, Keegan Murray at the end of the day is a 3-point shooter, and the fact that he's playing, or his responsibility is so much on defense that it has greatly affected his 3-point numbers, I think is really what Marcus Thompson's highlighting there, is that by virtue of how they've built their roster, they have hurt Keegan Murray's development way more than they have helped it. And you look at the list of guards that they have now, it's been the big problem with Keegan's development is, okay, who of those, like Marcus says, who of those guys is deferring to Keegan? Who is going to say, I could try and create a little bit of an ISO turnaround here, or, maybe we let Keegan Murray, get this 5-4-3-2-1 and develop his, off the dribble game. Just all of that stuff. It just doesn't feel like anything has been in the name of, we are going to really put Keegan Murray on a pedestal to succeed.
Are the Kings that confusing, or is it all in how you look at it? We'll look at that. Also look at the latest today that came out on Devin Carter potentially. Next, Chris Watkins in Today Drive Guy Sacktown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it out. Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out.
Oh,
Downy in the rinse change. Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash, it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Fights odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
Febreze.
Fabric Talk.
Hello, my love. I am your living room carpet. I see everything. I feel everything. After a while, I smell like everything, including Sir Pickles, who you snuggle with while binging that dating show you can't stop watching. So, how about we freshen things up with Febreze fabric spray? Oh, and a big spray for my pals, couch and ottoman. Ah, yes, refreshing. Breathe happy, Febreze. La 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 la.
Toyota's national sales event is on, with great deals happening now through Labor Day, like on the rugged, versatile 2025 Tacoma, or score low 1.99% APR on the 2025 Tundra, built to haul, tow, and handle your to-do list. And don't miss the all-new 2025 4Runner, fearless on the trail and in traffic. Hurry in for Toyota's national sales event before these deals are gone for good. Toyota, let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium rated credit. Offers end 9/2/25.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity. Introducing the 5-year price guarantee. One internet price, 5 years guaranteed. Well, perhaps hidden in the attention given to rookies like Nick Kurtz and Jacob Wilson has been the play of outfielder Colby Thomas. Thomas, a third-round pick out of Mercer University, in his first 61 at-bats this year, 4 doubles, 4 home runs, and 13 RBIs.
Welcome to Dugout Radio, the undisputed home of Boomtown Baseball.
The Wi-Fi is booming with Xfinity, baby. Our next caller is
Stacy. How do you stay locked in on every pitch and play?
We stream it all live on Xfinity Internet with low lag, 99.99% network reliability, and speeds faster than a base runner beating the throw to home plate.
I stream on my TV, tablets, even my smart fridge.
Smart fridge?
With all those games, we gotta refuel.
Stream live baseball with Wi-Fi built for the biggest moments. Xfinity. Restrictions apply. Actual speeds vary, not guaranteed.
Elk Grove Honda is proud of Honda's lineup of trucks and SUVs offering compatibility and versatility to the core. From the all-electric Prologue to the Pilot, Honda's most rugged SUV, and from the Street Smart CR-V to the Ridgeline's truckload of capabilities, Honda's lineup also includes the Passport, designed for adventure, and HR-V, just as smart as it looks. See the exciting new models at Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Hi, Michael Dave here for my friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Yes, I always tell you they are a family-owned operation, been in business since 81, A-plus Better Business Bureau, but it is hot. We are in those Sacramento hot months. I want to focus on them being your second opinion partner. What does that mean? Maybe you've got somebody you're working with or you've worked with in the past in the HVAC world. Guess what? They want to give you a second opinion. How much does it cost? Nothing. You call them up and say, hey, can I get a second opinion on this deal? They come out and they either say, wow, that's a great deal, you should feel better about that. Or they say, we can beat that price. And usually they're going to beat it by a lot. Guess what? You just saved money and it didn't cost you anything to find out. It's a no-lose situation. Go with a trusted company. American Energy, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Low Cash, Vincent Mason, and Averyana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with RVs of Sacramento and the Sled Museum of Science and Curiosity. Tickets at CITPFest.com.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacramento's official home of the 49ers.
San Francisco.
Sacktown Sports, 1140. Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Now we're talking Kings today, of course. We're talking Kings with Chris Watkins. Look at the outpouring of love and affection for Chris Watkins. Jess in the YouTube chat. Oh, Watkins in the building. Hey. Flame emoji.
Thank you, Jess.
That's nice.
Always a pleasure seeing Jess.
Mm-hmm. We also have here from UPS Chris.
Hey.
What up, guys? Just wanted to say what's up to Chris. Definitely miss him on with Alan. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well, and good luck to your Vikings.
Oh man, we need it. Yeah, no, I'm doing great. Yeah,
I miss him on with Alan too, Chris. But he used to be. We used to do show together a long time ago.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if we did our show together longer than I did with Alan. I want to say it was probably pretty equal.
I think we started in April.
And we went all the way until.
But remember they were moved. There was a lot of yeah.
Media Day was our last show.
So like to May to June, July, August. We were about 5 months, I think.
Okay, I think
And there was some moving parts, and sometimes you were here and I was there, and
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think Alan's was a full calendar year. We went until November.
Okay.
Yeah. Glad to be back though. Yeah, no, I've been I'm still here, still with the station, just doing digital stuff. You can check me.
Doing great work.
Yeah.
The digital department is crushing.
We're trying on a daily basis. Yeah, check out our YouTube page. We cut all the guests and best segments from the day. So if you can't listen from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. every single day, which nobody can, we make sure to cut all the best highlights and interviews. So every day you can check them out over on our YouTube page. Definitely plug that. Pretty heavily involved over there. Of course, Return of the Roar will be making its triumphant return soon. Myself, Brendan Nunez, Frankie Cardicelli. Frankie's back from paternity leave. He's been in and out as Alan's about to leave us. So yeah, it'll be nice to kind of get the digital front running with the King season right around the corner.
Jess brings up Watkins and Friends.
Yeah,
wasn't it something like
Chris and Co?
Chris and Co. Yes. That's I
Yeah.
think when I started, I think I was on. I was the co.
Many was. Kyle Draper was a guest on Chris and Co. It was mainly you two, actually. You two were mainly not so surprisingly, you guys ended up
We
with
were
the
the
show
co.
together. Yeah, you guys were mainly the co. There was not a co a lot of days, but on their days that there was it was mainly you and Kyle Draper.
Then we had the afternoon show, and they both and I think Cattles had something like back east that he was like, he left to. He was like, I have to go do this.
Yeah.
And then Rami was like, I don't want to stick around.
Yep.
Yeah. So then it was a game of musical chairs.
Yeah. And then I was back to Chris and Co. for a while. For a long while.
Really?
Well, I don't know if I don't think we officially titled it, but it was after you'd moved to the afternoons. I was still in midday. That was when we had a rotating cast of
I do remember that.
Yes. We all remember it. For better or worse, there was a rotating
and
cast.
Jess remembers it too.
Yeah, I'm sure
Zachariah.
Jess I'm sure Jess
I've known
remembers it too.
Zachariah a long time.
Yes, yeah.
I don't know what he's doing now, but
last I saw, he was doing shows in Utah. I believe.
That's what I saw as well.
Yeah, so I think he's still kicking around as we all are. FPJ, I was actually thinking about FP Junior the other day. I know you and him did a couple shows together as the Giant season's wrapping up. I've seen a couple of his posts on social media. So
he's doing really well.
Yeah, good. Yeah, really good to see. I think he had just gotten married right before we had kind of split ways. So it feels both like a very long time ago and obviously still remembers so many of just the crazy day-to-days that we would have here at Sacktown Sports. So,
yeah,
good to be back.
Like I said earlier, my wife was so excited when she found out I was on with Chris today. So,
it was great to meet her last year during the season. And, it's always always nice to be liked around here. You know, it's I know we've had a lot of different hosts come through these airwaves, and you know, it's nice to be wanted. You know, I'm obviously very in the comments of all of our content and stuff. People are very, very nice to me, and that's not always the case. So I try to always appreciate it.
Yeah, this is there's a lot of really a lot of really good, fun people at this station.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. No. Not even just at this state, but like we have a great market. Like even, you know, the TV people, Matt George, Kevin John, two of my favorite people on the planet. Those guys are you don't want to hang out with those two, but watching those two from afar, great. Sean Cunningham obviously cut his teeth here. Sean's, I mean,
was it you one time you had a picture, I think, of your girlfriend on your phone, and Kevin John's like,
I hope this doesn't
asking
go back
you all
to Sean.
these questions.
Oh
and
my
like,
God. Yeah, that's
Chris,
just
Chris,
Kevin though.
You don't have to answer any of that.
You know, these journalists, you know, capital J journalists trying to get to the bottom of every
probing question.
You know, it's like, hey man,
you don't have to answer any of those questions.
It's all right. Kevin
Kevin
John can do no good actually I said it right. He can do no good in my eyes. So yeah, no, I mean
he does a lot of
positive.
really good things for the community.
Incredible stuff. He does Big Brothers Big Sisters, which I know you know, I have my brother-in-law is involved in that. That's a fantastic organization. He you know, they always say the best thing you can give is time. Kevin John gives nothing but time. I know he's teaching over at CRC right now, which I have to give a big shout out. If I'm not mistaken, Kevin John right now is teaching the class that got me a job here at Sacktown Sports 10 years ago. So shout out Kevin John, and definitely shout out CRC's radio program. Shout out to them. A lot of people who have came through all the stations in Sacramento started at the Los Rios system in those radio, television, film classes. So all the kids grinding away over there.
That's a great point you make about the media. You know, you got Michelle Dapper and you got Sean.
I mean, come on,
and Dell at Channel 3. Michelle's been on. It's been a while, but she's been on here.
Yeah, Michelle. I mean, Lisa Gonzalez is always on in the morning show. I know her and Michelle Dapper have a bitter rivalry during football season. Jason Ross likes to do the a little picks competition, and those two are always very, very competitive to say the least. More so Lisa Gonzalez than Michelle Dapper. But Jake Gaden over at 13. He's a friend of the station, of course. Just tons of great Sacramento media stuff going on. We're pretty blessed. I know you know, people sometimes give some of our media people, especially during King season, we're always, you know, people are, as Alan would say, coming down our road for asking softball questions. I hang out with that guy too much, man. There's so many times where I hear myself or I hear him in my head countering me. But
really,
yeah, a lot of good stuff here.
Yeah, well, a lot of nice comments for Chris, and very nice.
Too kind.
Yeah, appreciate all that. Not everybody has a lot of nice comments for the way the Kings are doing things right now. Some people do. There's a lot of Kings fans that are very optimistic. There are a lot of Kings fans that take umbrage at some of the criticism. Here's the latest we have today, as you may have heard. Jake Fisher on the Stein line, he says, you know, in relation to this whole thing of how are the Kings going to get Westbrook? Oh, there was a report from Grant Afseth. You know, that whole thing is so funny because there was someone imitating him on the text.
Really?
You know
I did not see that. No.
Okay, let me just, if I may.
I feel like I vaguely heard it.
Grant Afseth wrote some things, and I think he was on. No, he wasn't on with Ellen, but he wrote some things about some Kings rumors. I forget even what it was. And we were talking about him on the show, and we thought maybe he's not that well, you know, plugged in. We didn't know. And then, so Alan's trying to get him on the show. And then someone starts texting us as Grant Afseth. It's like, oh, I'll show you guys. And we look at it and we realize, oh, it's not really him. You know, somebody having
we can
fun.
track numbers, yeah.
But Alan's trying to get him on, and Alan's like, oh, no. And he calls like, hey, someone's trying to imitate you. And he didn't know if it was really him or, then someone's trying to imitate you. So Grant Afseth on Twitter is going, I don't know what's going on in Sacramento. They got people impersonating me.
Some random. I know, it's like, it's not like we're talking about, you know, Sam Amick or Shams Charania or something. No disrespect, but like, it's a very, very specific niche person to try and act as
I can find some of his tweets. You can see him when he's going like, I don't know what's going on out there. But Alan thought, oh no, hey, are you still going to come on the show? And
of course,
sorry
Alan,
about
always
that.
The networker.
Yeah, but anyway, Grant Afseth just reported that the Kings, I should say, desperately trying to trade Malik, right? Then the
Mhm.
Kings came out. They didn't actually say that wasn't true. They just said, no, we're looking at other ways to get Westbrook on the team other than trading Malik. Now, Jake Fisher today says Devin Carter is more likely to be traded to make room for Westbrook than Malik Monk. So I don't know where all that is. You know, some of this is posturing. We don't know. But it does sound like, bottom line is, it just sounds like the Kings are definitely trying to find a way to bring in Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, that's
one way or the
priority
other.
number one is bring in Russell Westbrook and forget everything else. And it's a little concerning for sure. I mean, even just to think about on its face value, like I think that it's just not good practice to dump a guy that you drafted with the 12th pick 2 years ago for a guy who maybe doesn't even have 2 seasons left in the NBA.
But you know, Chris, that happens in sports sometimes when you have a regime A and they pick a guy, regime B comes in and they're like, he's not our
100%,
guy.
100%.
And I think it happens at, places of work too. Certainly happens in radio.
Yeah, no, and it's interesting. Let me tell you.
If PD Paul hires you and then PD Paul is out,
right,
and PD Steve comes in,
says I got my own show that I want to bring in.
Sometimes it's a little dicey.
No, absolutely. And I wonder, and this is pure speculation, but and I know the Devin stuff has come up only more so recently, but how much of it is maybe they're willing to move on from a Devin Carter because maybe they are concerned about his shoulder or something like that. I mean, I watched I was in Vegas for Summer League. He was rubbing his shoulder for sure. And there was as many media members, there was 2 times as many Kings staffers there, BJ Armstrong and obviously
I saw
Scott
it even
Perry.
on the TV a little. It's this one, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Tons of guys sitting courtside. We all saw it. We all saw Devin in a lot of discomfort. And again, that's pure speculation, but that's really, again, if you're going to move off of Devin Carter for it, to me, that I would read it on face value more as that's more you telling me something about Devin Carter than, it obviously is speaking to how much you want Russell Westbrook, but again, just as a general practice, you don't get rid of young players who have value. And that's the other thing is he has value. It's not as if Devin Carter, has already proven to not be an NBA player. I think you could get something for him.
Well, maybe they'll find out. Yeah, I would think so, but maybe we'll find out. We had Jerry Reynolds on today, and Jerry said he likes Devin Carter. He doesn't like the idea of trading him, but he did say that Jerry said he was a little disappointed in the way he played in Summer League, but he said, it's his first Summer League. I talked to someone who was there. I was not there as you were. Someone who said, if you quote me, you can call me a scout, who said Devin Carter didn't really lead, as a point guard. He said he's not really leading this team, but he did have some moments.
Yeah.
I would like to see what he could do, but it just seems like the Kings are just really hell-bent on, we got to get Russ on this team.
Yeah. And it's, I wish we just had a little bit more, and I guess we'll have to wait for the intro presser of Russell Westbrook, but what is it? Because again, we've drawn the lines to it. It must be the intangibles. It must be the stuff off the floor, the hard work, everything. Because he's not the athlete. It's not as if you're bringing in Russell Westbrook because you feel like he can steal 25 minutes for you.
Don't you think he's a better defender than Malik?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, because I was trying to figure that out. If this team, to me, if they're going to be better this year, they have to be better defensively.
Have to. Yeah, 100%.
And again, that's just looking short-term next year when we hope they're looking long-term as well. But if they're not better defensively, it really doesn't matter what they do at the other end. And if you brought in Westbrook and he played the Malik minutes, he's more of a point guard than Malik, and he would be better defensively. I wouldn't do it again. Right. I keep saying that is true, but I think that maybe would be their thinking in part.
And I guess in a weird way, especially for decomplicating the rotation, it makes more sense to move off of Malik, because if you are going to do as what's being reported now and you're just going to swap Devin Carter for Russell Westbrook, to me, you're then almost remaking the decision, but this time it's, you're going to pay Russell Westbrook $5 million, and it's going to be similar to Denver, to where maybe Doug Christie is going to give Russell Westbrook the nod over Malik, who's making $18 million.
Russ
and
would
it
be
just,
the sixth man.
It just doesn't. And I kind of think that role makes sense for him, but it just, I don't know, to have Malik and Russ coming off the bench, it just doesn't really make sense. And I've said the same thing about, if the Kings were to bring in Kuminga, and you would probably have to have a conversation with DeMar DeRozan about coming off the bench. I don't know if Malik Monk and DeMar DeRozan coming off the bench makes sense. To me, Malik is, and I think it's the reason why maybe there's been a lot of hard times in trying to move off from him. He is what he is. Like he has, especially with the CBA, you fit into a certain quadrant. It can't be a round peg in a square hole or whatever, a square peg, round hole.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't work like that. And I think Malik might be a great sixth man, but there's a certain dollar figure that you have to put on that. And I think he can be that right now for this Kings team because he's the only one in that role. But you add a Russell Westbrook, you add a DeMar DeRozan into that bench lineup, all of a sudden, I just don't think we saw it last year. Malik Monk as a playmaker, he can do it, but it's not the same Malik Monk that you want.
I think that the league is, what do you think of this, Chris? The league to me seems to be moving away a little bit from off guards that are a little smaller, especially if they're not like dead eye shooters. Yeah. And Malik is more of an energy guy. And, there were times over the last 2 years where when he played point, he's like, that guy can play point. And they decided last year he's not a point guard. But I think it's kind of a trend in the league. If you're a smaller off guard and you're not a great shooter, he's been a good shooter. He's a little streaky. You're not a good defender. I feel like the league is kind of moving away from that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're an off guard, it's tough. I mean, because you have to be you have to be Lou Dort, right? I mean, if you're not going to be the primary defender and you're going to be somebody who's going to be the 2, but be 6'3", well, there has to be a trade-off, right? Like you can guard the point guards on the other end, but on the offensive end, we need you to not only stand in the corner, but we need you to actually can't be Thabo Cephalosha out there. We need you to actually be able to be a threat, because the one thing that the Pacers Thunder series really highlighted is the NBA's deep, and you can go 5 deep in terms of who you have out on the floor. There's no guys that you can hide behind, and if you're somebody who has to be hidden either on the offensive or defensive end, you're going to get exposed. And I think Malik is the prime example of, come playoff time, if Malik Monk is playing 25, 30 minutes a game, he's the one that teams are going to pick on and say, we want our lead guard going at Malik Monk every single time he's on the floor, because he's going to have to hit every shot. He's going to have to be insane on the offensive end to justify how much we're going to attack him on the defensive end, because Dennis Schroeder's not an elite point guard or defender or anything, but he's 6'2", 6'3" with really long arms. Keegan Murray's out there. Maybe you attack Zach LaVine as well, but to me, Malik is the clear and obvious guy. He's short. He's pretty thin, not very strong. He's the guy that I would go after every single time if I'm another team.
Yeah, I think he had to play more minutes last year than he'd ever played. You can look it up, and I think he's never been a great defender, and I think he was a little overexposed in some ways last year. And I think the Kings, what he can do, and the Kings last year asked him to do more, and it seems like this year maybe they're not as interested in the things that he does well. So it's a tough spot for him. You mentioned Schroeder, and we've been talking about Russ. I saw something interesting here, and I think this was on YouTube, and I think this has been translated, because I went and I saw the podcast, and it was all in German.
Okay.
And I was like, what? So,
fun.
But I believe this is what Dennis Schroeder had to say about Russell Westbrook. The context was, are you going to play with him? I don't know what it was. It was in German.
And this is a recent quote.
Yes, I just saw this today, yeah.
Okay.
And he said, when I first came to Oklahoma, I was traded. Then we flew straight to LA and had a mini camp there for 4 days. The first time I saw Russell Westbrook in his prime, I was like, okay, we play him tomorrow, not afraid. But I thought, I have to go to bed early. And I saw Russ in LA. His body, his forearms were as big as my shoulders. I said to my wife, hey, I have to go to the gym. I need to get bigger. Russ is an animal. And he set the example, always first in the gym. Dennis Schroeder on
Interesting.
Russell Westbrook.
I mean, there's no negative words about him in there,
Right.
And I'm fascinated by the whole, did they officially have a Zoom call with Russell Westbrook and Dennis Schroeder to start off the offseason? I don't know, but I think that those two are going to have to be on the same page. If it is going to work out, regardless of what any of us think about Russell Westbrook, the individual, or anything, if the Kings are going to bring in Russell Westbrook, him and Dennis Schroeder are going to have to be on the same page, because those are two alphas. Like, I mean, at this point, Dennis Schroeder played, was a very key member of a Pistons team last year that made the playoffs. He's doing really well in Eurobasket right now. He's 31 years old. He's got a certain amount of, hey, I just came here to Sacramento to kind of have this be my moment, to maybe have an opportunity to run the show. I don't want, an MVP coming here and taking my minutes. So those two having an understanding of what it is that's going on here, I think is paramount if it's going to work, because we know Russell Westbrook is, whether it's him himself or those around him or his fan base, is very vocal, very loud. And it's going to try and rip a tear in the locker room is going to be Russ versus Dennis Schroeder. And Russ obviously has the name value and all of that. Those two have to understand that, and Doug Christie, obviously, they all have to have an understanding of what that situation is if it's going to work.
By the way, I want to let you know, we just got an update. There was a big announcement today, Cal Expo going forward, the board voting to go forward with the project of putting Sac State Stadium there. And Luke Wood, Dr. Luke Wood, president of Sac State, he's going to join us at 5:30.
Oh,
so he's going to pop on with us. So we'll get the latest from Dr. Wood.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, definitely interested to hear what he's got to say, because this definitely seemed to have, I guess you could say, came out of nowhere a little bit. Again, it seemed like things were
it just kind of took a turn from the Sac State Stadium at Sac State. It's like, no, here's another idea.
Yeah. And again, it's not necessarily, doesn't seem like a bad idea by any stretch, but just seemed to kind of pop out of nowhere. And obviously the land is there for something that can be really, really cool like Cal Expo. But I'm very interested to see just kind of how all of this ended up coming together and what the future plans are. When are they going to start? I don't know if they've, gotten to the point of thinking about groundbreaking and all that, but if this truly was a true pivot, at what point here is the next step coming?
Now, let me ask you this, and we've worked together a long time, so I can ask you this. One of our daughters works there in the biology department. Am I allowed to tell Dr. Wood that, you got a great biology department out there, right?
I mean, I think you have to.
Okay.
I mean, it's probably not it.
That's not going to, I can't overplay it though, but
you can always drop the plug.
Yeah.
You can always drop the plug. There's nothing wrong with it.
I don't think there's anything wrong.
Okay. All right. As long as you're okay with it. I don't want you.
I think you're in the good.
Okay. All right. One more quick thought here on the Kings and how Marcus Thompson in the Athletic says he's confused by what they're doing. I understand that. It's possible, Chris, that the Kings are trying to do two things at once.
Yeah.
And so obviously if you're not aware of that, and then maybe you just don't think it's a good idea, but if you're not aware of that they're trying to win now as best they can while building for the future, serving two masters, then it looks like they don't know what they're doing, but it may be that they're actually trying to do two things at once, which is tricky.
Yeah.
But it may not be that they don't know what they're doing. It's just what they're trying to do is actually very difficult.
Very fine lines, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the two timelines thing. And I think the pushback that I would give is just what's that second timeline? Like, I understand the first timeline is actually, I guess I would ask, what are both timelines? Because it is, in theory, if you are doing the Warriors two timeline thing, you're talking about competing for a championship right now. Well, what's going to be the value? And it is truly a real question. What is the value if the Kings are going to be a frisky 7 seed or a 6 seed that takes a team 7? And that's maybe being optimistic.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, that's being incredibly optimistic. If you're going to push out the two timelines thing, there has to be, again, return on value. And sure, it'd be fun. It would be unexpected for the Kings to be that good, but how is that helping your future besides, I guess, possibly raising your floor? I don't know. I mean, I'm so confused as to where the goalposts are at these days, both from the fans, from the organization, from a Vivek standpoint. Like, I truly don't know what success is for all parties involved when it comes to the Kings.
What do you think of this segue? There may soon be goalposts at Cal Expo.
Best in the business.
We'll talk to Dr. Luke Wood from Sac State, President Dr. Luke Wood. Next, find out what's going on with Sac State and Cal Expo in a football stadium. That's next with Watkins and Waddy, Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the Roseville Auto Mall.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Clear skies overnight tonight with temperatures gradually cooling off. We'll drop off into the lower 60s by Friday morning, and then daytime highs pushing into the mid to upper 90s under sunny skies and light winds. Get the latest forecasts on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
The Roseville Auto Mall is Northern California's ultimate destination when looking for your next vehicle. Find the largest selection with 20 top brands and get huge savings during our Labor Day sales event going on now at the Roseville Auto Mall, driven to be the best.
If Old Spice Deep Sea Super Hydration Body Wash were music, what would it sound like? Start with the deep sounds of Old Spice's ocean waves and kelp. Layer on the smooth, renewing moisture. You wouldn't hear any parabens or phthalates because Old Spice Deep Sea hasn't got any. But you would hear that vitamin B3 for healthier looking skin. So while your regular body wash sounds like this, Old Spice sounds like this. Sounds like it smells amazing.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind: to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-894-3737. 800-894-3737. That's 800-894-3737.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV, RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the lake or clean out your closet? RV wins! Putting the dishes away or taking the RV camping? RV wins! Cleaning the fridge or taking a trip to the beach? RV wins!
You might want to clean the fridge real quick because, mold.
We clean out the fridge, then take the RV out.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Just announced, Stockton Honda has been named #1 of California's best car dealers in 2025 by USA Today and Statista. This prestigious award is based on thousands of customer reviews and recommendations, ranking dealerships for service, value, and satisfaction. Out of hundreds evaluated, Stockton Honda is proud to be #1, recognized for all-around excellence and commitment to our customers. Visit Stockton Honda, where reputation meets the road.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Fingers up is what we reppin'. Throw that pinky in the sky when you steppin'. Fingers up is what we reppin'.
Hey, Juice, let me know, sir.
They don't want the smoke when we flying them. You can catch me going dumb in the stadium. We see you making rules, but we breaking them. If you ain't built for the city, we ain't taking them. You know it's green and gold for the flex. You know we never fall with a test. We throw the best parties on the west. I'm about to throw a party in the nest. Keep that pinky high like you're bougie. Come to Sacramento, make a movie. All that hating that they doing, they can lose me. You gon' have the biggest buzz if you choose me. If you ain't really like that, you ain't for it. I know
Live
you hear
and
them
local,
words on that
it's
chorus.
the Drive
You ain't really
Guys.
about it, we ignore
Watch
it.
the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Singers up is
Or
what we
listen
reppin'.
on the Sacktown Sports app.
It's already been a Thursday to remember. Thanks again to Chris Watkins for filling in today. You know, Drapes on vacation, and Jay had to take a day off. Jay should be back tomorrow, but thank you again, Chris, for helping us out
Anytime.
today. Yeah. So earlier today, we talked to a fantasy football expert, Michael Fabiano, who is a big Cowboy fan. Moments after Micah Parsons got traded, and he was not happy.
He was not happy at all.
But
I think he really toughed it out. But he did a great job. He did a great job.
He did.
Real
yes.
professional.
So that was memorable. Also, we got word today that the Cal Expo board has approved a negotiation agreement with Sac State for a new stadium. Big time stuff. So Dr. Luke Wood, president of Sac State, should be joining us here in just a moment. So we'll get the latest from him. So as we said, Chris, there's just stadium news all over the place here in Sacramento.
All over the place, and you love to see it. I mean, again, born and raised in Sacramento, and from Arco Arena being the only real place to go see high quality. I guess you could say the River Cats too. Especially back in those days, seeing high quality entertainment from a sports perspective. Man, now it's a surplus. You get soccer, you get basketball, you get baseball. I mean, there's
could be the dawning of a golden era.
Volleyball's coming. It's just absolutely insane. New era. For sure.
Nice enough to join us with more on that. Sac State president, Dr. Luke Wood. Dr. Wood, how are you today, sir? Congratulations on the news.
Oh, I'm doing great today. I'm very excited. Just got done with the board meeting at Cal Expo where they approved our ability to move forward with them as we get ready to turn the grandstand into a beautiful football stadium.
Mm-hmm. And can you tell us what? I know we still have a ways to go here, but from where you stand, Dr. Wood, what is the significance of today's agreement?
Well, today's agreement is a public declaration from both sides to move forward, but it's also some contractual elements in terms of how we're going to approach the work between the two groups. We've been working since our initial conversations in January. We've been had some pretty productive conversations and a number of studies that have already been either done or are underway in terms of seismic, environmental, other things that we would need to do. And we're feeling positive. So today's meeting essentially solidified all of that and allows us to move forward to the next step.
Yeah, Dr. Wood, can you maybe walk us through how we got from the announcement or the renderings of the on-campus building to where we are today with Cal Expo, just kind of how we got from those renderings to the agreement today?
Yeah, I mean, I know that, so I got a phone call, had a conversation with Tom Martinez, who is the head of Cal Expo and the State Fair. In January, we started talking, and he knew that we were building a football stadium, and at the same time thought that they might have something to offer that might be better. And in reality, everything was moving forward, but that phone call certainly changed our path and our stance. Cal Expo gives us the ability to build faster because there's already an existing sporting facility there right now that does 22,000 people right now that we'll be using as the base of the stadium. And they allow us to go bigger. We'll eventually be able to go up to 40,000 because our goal is to play at the highest level of football. And it's also close, unlike most stadiums that are off of the campus that are much farther away, this is 2 miles. So this is easy for us to be able to do that and provide shuttles for students and buses to help get them there. But it also aligns, our Sacramento State brand with the brand of Cal Expo and the State Fair and all the amazing things that are happening there. They're coming off one of their largest state fairs in recent history. They're continuing to reinvest and reinvent themselves, and so it's a great partnership to have. And then I think the other thing that stood out was is an opportunity for two state agencies to work together to do something bigger and better together than we could have done separate.
Mm-hmm. Sac State President Dr. Luke Wood with us. You talked about how your brand appears to be growing and expanding, and of course Mike Bibby with the coach of the basketball team. You got a new football coach, Shaquille O'Neal, involved. What has been the reaction in the community as your brand has grown and expanded here? And then you've got an announcement like today letting us know we've got even bigger things on the horizon. How are people in the community reacting to that?
You know, the community has been explosively positive. Our alumni, the community members, if you're in the Sacramento, greater Sacramento, Stockton, Modesto, Vacaville area, you're proud of what you're seeing right now, because Sacramento State is bucking the trend. Most institutions in Northern California are declining in enrollment. We're at our largest head count ever in the university's 80-year history. Most institutions are struggling with student success. We just reached our highest graduation rate. Most institutions are struggling to build out athletic facilities. We just redid the men's locker room. We just redid and created a new football performance facility and coaches' offices, 30,000 square feet on campus. We just finished our new gymnastics facility just a couple of years ago under President Nelson Wright as I was coming in to Sacramento State. And I could go on. We got basketball getting ready to move into the well. So this is what I would say to any of our alumni that are listening, though, is we're just getting warmed up. We've got a lot more planned, and in the next, over the beginning next week and then over the next 6 weeks, you're going to continue to see a lot more news coming out of Sacramento State, because we've been cooking all summer long, and now we're about to serve it to the community.
Very interesting. Dr. Wood, I'm curious, you just kind of mentioned the well over there. I was at Sac State football practice the other day, and there's tons of construction going on over at that building. Just kind of how is that coming along right now with the basketball program moving over to the well?
You know, it's coming along great. You know, we did have a hiccup with something that needed to be done as part of the permitting process that made it take a little bit longer, but we are fully on track for the well to be open for basketball season. There's no indication at this point that we are not on that timeline. And so it's an opportunity for us to, when people come back to Sacramento State this year, they're going to see a basketball team that is going to be one of the most exciting and interesting teams in the entire nation. They're going to see a new facility that shows that we're not playing at the bare minimum level, but we're stepping up our game, you know, on our way to eventually playing in something even bigger than this. And so I think that a lot of folks are coming back, and just a sense of excitement on campus with students this week, given it was our first week back, it felt different. Like the community is energized. Like everywhere I go, it stingers up, and I love it, because that's what this community deserves. This is what's been deprived from this community for a long time. For a long time, you know, Sacramento marketed itself as being, well, we're not that far from Reno and we're not that far from San Francisco. and now I can say, no, you get to live in Sacramento, you can go visit Reno or San Francisco, because they got nothing on us in terms of what we're doing. You see what's happening in the rail yards and all the amazing developments are happening there. You see what's happening at Cal Expo. You see that this community is stepping up its game, and we should. We're in the top 20 media market in the nation, and we haven't been acting like it, and now we are.
Dr. Luke Wood with us, President Sac State. I must point out, Dr. Wood, I think, you know, for everything going on with your athletic programs, which is tremendous, you got a great biology program over there at Sac State. And, you know, my daughter is a teacher there. She's a professor. Maybe that, you know, I'm a little biased, but I think you got a great science department there. But I want to ask you, and I know.
I got to agree with you, because my wife is a byproduct of the science programs at Sac State.
There you go.
There we go.
I know.
Got one supporter.
You alluded to more announcements to come, so I'm going to ask you this. You're probably not at liberty to get too far into this, but what can you tell us about a timeline or any updates on information about your efforts with your football program to perhaps move into a higher profile conference?
I believe that we will be able to share very, very positive information this semester.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
And not towards the end of the semester.
Okay.
Here we go.
I think I was really clear before when I said, for Sacramento State, it's FBS or bust.
Mm-hmm.
And we're tenacious, and we don't give up, and we have continued to show that we can box above our weight class. And so I'm looking forward to what we'll be able to share relatively soon.
All right. Dr. Wood, congratulations again on today's news. Thank you very much for your time. We know you're very busy. Thanks for shedding some light on all this for us. We appreciate it. We hope to talk to you again soon.
Absolutely. And thank you guys, and appreciate you.
Stingers up.
Stingers up.
Yeah.
There you go.
Especially in the biology department.
Well, there you go. See, you were all worried about maybe dropping the plug on, hey, if you want to give a little extra attention to the bio department, little did you know you already had a supporter. You already had a supporter. So really cool stuff, man.
That's tremendous. Thank you to Dr. Wood for joining us.
Yeah. He's at 40,000 people they're going to try and fit into that stadium. Can you imagine?
With all these stadiums, I would think at some point, two of the parties are going to say, let's get together. I don't know.
Makes sense.
Maybe
Makes
that's
sense
easier said than done.
No, absolutely. And, again, I was at the Sac Republic's groundbreaking. They showed some pictures of like what it might look like if they had a big concert over there. And again, that's really where it's like, I don't know how much crossover there needs to be two of those venues that close. But I mean, obviously, you put a 40,000 seat venue in Sacramento, I'm not going to complain about it.
We'll come back with more on that. Also, another look at Sacramento's efforts to land a Major League Baseball expansion team when we come back. Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Outgrove Honda.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Clear skies overnight tonight with temperatures gradually cooling off. We'll drop off into the lower 60s by Friday morning, and then daytime highs pushing into the mid to upper 90s under sunny skies and light winds. Get the latest forecasts on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
Elk Grove Honda is proud of Honda's lineup of trucks and SUVs offering compatibility and versatility to the core. See the exciting new models at Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Carmichael Dave here for my friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Yes, I always tell you they are a family-owned operation, been in business since 81, A-plus Better Business Bureau, but it is hot. We are in those Sacramento hot months. I want to focus on them being your second opinion partner. What does that mean? Maybe you've got somebody you're working with or you've worked with in the past in the HVAC world. Guess what? They want to give you a second opinion. How much does it cost? Nothing. You call them up and say, hey, can I get a second opinion on this deal? They come out and they either say, wow, that's a great deal, you should feel better about that. Or they say, we can beat that price. And usually they're going to beat it by a lot. Guess what? You just saved money and it didn't cost you anything to find out. It's a no-lose situation. Go with a trusted company. American Energy, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Labor Day, our annual celebration of workers and their achievements, was first observed in New York, and the first Monday in September became a national holiday in 1894. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Each year we commemorate Labor Day with parades, picnics, and family gatherings. And right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings is celebrating with their exceptional whole store Labor Day sale. Would you like to refresh your living room? Would you like to restyle your bedroom? Maybe you want to redesign your home office. No matter whether it's your dining room, kids' rooms, accents, or accessories, Naturewood's unique store-wide Labor Day sale offers savings in every department and savings on every brand like Stanton, Omnia, Stickley, Flex Steel, and all the rest of the award-winning furniture. When it comes right down to it, it's all about choices and always about quality. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable Labor Day sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
Hey everybody, it's Kyle Draper from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, and let me tell you about the great deals they have going on right now. You can receive up to $9,500 in bonus cash when you lease select models. Not interested in a lease? How about a certified pre-owned vehicle? That's right, they have low rates for up to 36 months, or maybe you're looking to buy brand new. Well, they got you covered when it comes to that as well. And if you're looking for an electric vehicle, well, check out their deals on e-sprinters. Take it from me, I'm now rolling in the finest ride I've ever had. I'm driving the all-new electric EQS SUV. I don't have to worry about filling my tank at all. It's a long-range vehicle, and not only do I love it, my family loves it as well. So take it from me, Kyle Draper. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is where you want to go to buy your new vehicle. They believe that when you buy the finest car in the world, you deserve the best car buying experience you'll ever have. They're just a short drive down I-5 or online anytime at mbfstockton.com.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Mocash, Vincent Mason, and Avriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with RVs of Sacramento and the Sled Museum of Science and Curiosity. Tickets at CITPFest.com.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Yeah, this is where it happened. You know, you had the news today that Cal Expo board voting to go forward with the plan to build a stadium for Sac State football stadium. Dr. Luke Wood just joined us, Sac State president, and sounds like he's pretty excited.
Yeah.
They're moving forward on a number of things.
Building faster. I mean, that was the key. I mean, yeah, he mentioned that the Sac State, the basketball arena should be built by this season. Part of the reason why they were intrigued by Cal Expo is building that thing up faster, which, you know, you do like to hear, because it does feel like, especially, you know, as maybe, I know, you know, Sac, you can call it a strike. I won't call it has struck out going for FBS, but, you know, as they've kind of taken some blows that direction, I think the more and more positive momentum you can continue to build on, and maybe not let some of the strikes kind of stack up. I think I think that could be a big positive for these guys.
I didn't expect him to give us much in terms of details on when they're moving up, as far as a football conference. So I kind of left the back gate open for him there, you know, the way I asked him.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I don't need that.
Yeah, no,
like,
he kicked it open.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
Western style. He said very.
Yes. Yes.
Two varies. Definitely caught those two varies.
Yeah. Remember what I said, FBS or bust.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I think the one thing that got denied was them being an FBS independent, but we know what Sac-12 has been a big push. They just had a big fundraiser the other day with Shaq and Mike Bibby.
Emron was out there.
Emron was out there as well.
Yes,
I did see that as well. Yeah, Emron out there. It seemed like a crazy good event. Seemed like everyone had a good time there, but they are determined to make that Pac-12, or I think at the very least a Mountain West push. And, you know, I'm all for it. I mean, you know, you get the better competition in there, and I think you can to see Sac State even be competing for, you know, the March Madness tournament, I think would just be such a weird culture shock to this place.
Yeah.
I'm not sure people even know how valuable it would be, including myself.
So we just talked to Connor Sutton yesterday about the new stadium for Sac Republic. We talked to Dr. Luke Wood today about a new stadium for Sac State. What's going on with Major League Baseball expansion efforts on Sacramento's behalf? Interesting piece in The Athletic today. I know we talked about this yesterday because there was a piece at foxsports.com. This is a new piece today in The Athletic. In recent weeks, The Athletic sought progress reports from 6 cities with established expansion efforts underway. Okay, now Sacramento is not mentioned in this piece, but that's because I believe we don't have a stadium plan that is public yet.
Okay.
But the cities they looked at here, Nashville, Raleigh, Orlando in the east, Salt Lake City, Portland, Austin in the west. Sacramento is working on a plan for a stadium. We may hear more about that before the end of this year, and then we may have some sites that are named next year. That's what a lot of people are saying. But as far as this goes, I think it's going to come down. We talked about this yesterday, Chris, and you said this earlier off the air. I agree. Nashville is like almost a sure thing, and Salt Lake City is really threatening to run away with the other bid.
Yeah, you said the other ones are Portland and Austin.
Austin, which is the mayor came on the show last week. I wasn't in, but he said San Antonio, but a lot of people think San Antonio, Austin are kind of going to be one. They're very close together.
Like a joint bid.
Yeah.
Would that be 3 Texas teams, right?
Yeah, it would be.
That would be the interesting. Yeah, the main reason why I would think that wouldn't work. To me, I mean, yeah, the reason why Salt Lake makes so much, they have the money. I think it's Ryan Smith, who's the owner of the Jazz now. Younger guy, very, very, very deep pockets.
Jazz and Mammoth.
And okay, oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about the Utah Mammoth as well.
Don't ever forget about the Utah Mammoths.
Well, they changed their name like 3 times, so it was tough for me to keep up.
Weren't they like Utah hockey team for a
while? They were the Utah Hockey Club
team.
originally.
Yeah.
I think they wanted to have a name, but it got nixed. I can't remember. Yeah. But yeah, Ryan Smith, deep pockets, deep pockets. There's apparently a really big thirst for professional sports out there in Utah as well. Apparently, there's a lot of tons of petitions signed of saying they would sign up for season tickets, all that stuff. Everything, it seems like, is ready to go in Salt Lake City.
I just want to stop you right there because the point you made is actually a point that's made in this piece in The Athletic, where, again, they have been studying city's efforts. If there exists such a thing as a turnkey expansion option, it's Salt Lake City, according to this, which is just what you said, ready-made.
Yeah, ready-made, absolutely ready-made. I think there's a AAA ballpark down there right now.
Salt Lake has the Bees.
Yeah, which is Dodgers?
No, Angels.
Angels, there you go. Yeah, so I mean, I'm not sure if that would be the site that they do it, but again, there's an established baseball market there. I think it just makes a lot of sense, and the thing that really makes sense, you pointed out during the break, is it's an unmarked territory for MLB right now is Salt Lake City, and so I think that would be the most intriguing thing to them about it is, Sacramento might be a bigger city, but you already have the Giants here. Maybe they're hoping for residual A's fans to just kind of latch on and not move off of their team. I think they feel like Northern California is taken care of. It just, to me, there's just better options.
Yeah. And by the way, I want to correct myself. I said the Utah Mammoths, but it's singular.
Singular. Please.
The Utah Mammoth.
It's like deer. Everyone knows that one. It's only singular mammoth. Have you ever seen?
Is it a singular plural?
I don't know. Have you ever seen multiple mammoth in one?
I've never
location?
seen any.
Exactly.
Here's one other thing I want to add about Salt Lake as well. They also have a NWSL, the National Women's Soccer League Utah Royals team as well. So they are ingratiating themselves to a multitude of sports and doesn't regardless of gender.
They have Big League Utah with a broad Big League Utah has broad bipartisan political support. Growing market. Massive stadium site, up to $900 million in public funding for ballpark construction, and an ownership group with a reputation for stability and decades of experience owning pro sports teams. So they look like one of the leaders.
Yeah, I think the potential fan base too is the pool is the biggest thing. I mean, Portland is everything Ramsey just mentioned, like it's true about Portland as well. They have a women's soccer team. They just got a WNBA team. They of course have the Portland Blazers.
I apologize if you're
good. You're good. Well, wait.
Those of you listening, you can't see.
It's like a moat. They have
this looks like it's
water.
San Antonio Riverwalk. It's Utah,
of course.
And then there's there's a Ferris wheel back there. That's all.
It looks more like
Utah's plan for stadium.
Kind of looks like a NASCAR track as opposed to like at least the side of it looks very interesting. But to me, Salt Lake City makes the most sense for it, and I just think again, Portland, you have Seattle, that market right there. So to me, it just makes all the sense.
Stadium is the proposed centerpiece of the 100-acre Power District site on Salt Lake City's west side. That's all right. We don't have our stadium plan out yet. Sacramento has not even begun to fight.
It's too big. They have to, we've got to figure it out. Yeah. We've got to get the best men on the renderings and stuff like that. So
there are a lot of people in Sacramento that are working very hard.
Yeah.
So not quite in the running yet because haven't come out with the plans, but watch out, Salt Lake City.
That's right. Watch out. We're right on your tail.
Thank you very much, Chris Watkins, for coming in today.
Anytime. Yeah.
Don't say that.
Well, that's true. Not anytime that. Sometimes.
Okay.
How about sometimes?
Anytime.
We'll just leave it at something.
Thank you, Ramsey. Thank you for being with us. We're back with you tomorrow. Stick around because the JR Sports Brief Show is next on Sacktown Sports.